and welcome. I'm your not-so-humble game master, TJ, and this is Dice of Ages presenting Baker's Dozen, Bread for Adventure. And we have here...
I never heard that before. That's good.
We have here all our little donuts. Say hi, little donuts.
Hi, little donuts.
Hi, little donut.
I think I missed something.
I don't know. Are you a donut?
Y'all do a session without me? Yeah, I guess.
Okay, we want to go around the table. We can each of the little donuts can introduce themselves.
I'm
Sean,
the donut. I'm the donut.
You're donuts. You're the little donuts.
We're donuts. We're little donuts.
Why do we say hi to each other?
As long as we're not donut holes.
That was perfect. Now it's canon. Now we got to do it every time. Now you have to just say hi, whatever carbohydrate I come up with.
Welcome.
Okay, go ahead, Sean.
My name is. Sorry. Whoa. Associated really hard.
Yeah.
I'm Tamron. I'm a Drakesh lizard boy.
Drakosh.
Drakosh sorcerer. And I just want my daddy to love me.
Oh, buddy.
Little homecoming buddy.
Now I understand the
Here's
sending.
a
Oh,
drink.
no fret. Oh, buddy.
The non-sending.
Okay, go ahead.
To who?
Do you?
Me?
Yeah,
Excellent.
you're up next.
Great.
There goes Sean, Noel, Angela.
none of
and
us
then
can
Cameron.
see that,
I'm sorry.
so
It's the
that's
same
cool.
every time.
Yeah.
I'm Noelle, and today I'll be playing Misheni Ankmut, the Ma'itan ranger, fighter, kind of jackal gal. And, you can give a dog a bone, but you should never burn bones on ghost ships. Just friendly tip for the week.
Hey.
You should never bone ghost ships?
Burn.
Well,
Oh, I
that,
thought you
wait.
said bone. I'm like,
I mean,
Heard
I
bone.
wouldn't recommend carnal escapades with ghost ships either. I mean,
ecto
unless you're
bone.
into a big bow, you know?
Oh.
oh, big bow. Oh.
We need sound
Next.
effects here.
That
Go
one.
ahead.
Hit me hard.
Go
Okay.
ahead, say hi.
Hello. I'm Angela. I'm playing Nakano, this fearless purple spider-like rogue. And they say, don't fear the Reaper. But then again, what do blue oysters know?
Hey, that was pretty good. Hey. Holy shit. All right.
That was awesome,
Did you
man.
just come up with that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. Amazing. Oh, Angela, show the camera your
Oh,
new guy,
yeah.
'cause that's
It's
super
dope
cool
as hell.
shit.
As a Death Warder now, I need a proper die. Got skulls.
That's so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's do
And
it. Let's
That's
test
Chunky
it.
Boy
First,
too, right?
first.
What?
Roll it.
Uh,
Roll it.
Oh, roll it. Oh.
Somebody's gotta die.
Oh, yeah.
Something.
Okay.
Someone's
I'll
got to
roll it.
die first, Sean says.
Jeez.
And I got a 3.
Doesn't have to be one of us.
Oh.
That's what we do for rolling it out of game. All right, go ahead.
Royalty.
Last one.
Hi, I'm
But
a
not
donut. I play a Scoop Crinkle, Flag of the Tempest. Move over. I'm heading for that bakery. Move.
Oh, right. Shit.
All right, cow
Well-
daddy.
Guess who forgot to flesh out the bakery in this town that is going to lean heavy on improv this session?
Ouch. It's like the whole gluten talk too.
I know. I'll figure. I'm sorry. We'll figure it out. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Everywhere we go, there has to be a baker. You
I
gotta know
know.
that by now.
There has to be like a floating roaming bakery, like on a flotilla
Yeah.
that just
There you
moves
go, yeah.
around the boundless Thalasia.
Like, no matter what happens, we're always, like, pulled gravitationally towards a bakery. Like, we...
It's like Starbucks. You like the part where
No.
the universe ends is where you come out of Starbucks and across the street is another Starbucks.
What if there's like a hot air balloon bakery and the heat is supplied by the ovens?
Oh, my God,
Cool,
I love
right?
it.
Okay,
Love
that is pretty cool.
That is
And then you could
cool.
have, like,
Yeah.
it's raining bread, like, coming down.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
raining.
Some very
Exactly.
lightweight,
Oh.
high heat resistant stone in order to make that. Oh,
Mhm.
well, we got magic. You can just
Yeah,
magic
right.
up like a straw oven. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
It's the J.K. Rowling solution. If you run into a plot problem, just throw magic at it.
Magic.
Please don't equate us with her. That'll be. That's it then. Hi, we're gonna play now. Cool. So, you guys ready to play a game?
Yes.
All right.
I'm
cool.
a donut.
So before we get started, we'll do the recap from the last session. Moving on from now on, we're just going to be doing a one episode session. So one episode, and the sessions and the episode numbers line up, so it doesn't even matter anymore. It's both session 40 for the 40th game that we as a team have been playing together as a
Is
group.
it really?
It's the 40th session that we as a group in this campaign have played together, and it's also the 40th episode because we started recording and streaming a little bit after we had started.
Nice.
And-
But now the
Bonkers.
episodes have caught up because we had split some of the sessions. into separate
And
episodes.
it's the 40th of High Lock.
And it's also the 40th of High
Whoa.
Lock, so 40, 40, 40, baby.
We should play that
And
now.
Jesus
cubed.
spent 40 days and 40 nights in the desert.
Oh my goodness. Come unto me. So
Yes, Daddy.
that's the response I wanted. Okay, so 40th session, 40th episode. Here we go. So we're just gonna be doing it now. As we said, we're only recording it now, so we're gonna be doing just episode 40 from now on. Single episode sessions. Okay, so let's get into the recap of the last session, shall we?
Yes, please.
All right. Last we left off. Tumbling out onto the deck of the Poundbringer, the baker's dozen compose themselves and, over lunch, learn that the gloves gifted to Tammy are made of two calves' leather, indigenous to inland regions of the Northern Dynasty. The crew continue their travel to Long Deck as Macheni and a scoop test the efficacy of the Chartreuse Slave Blossom Cure Potion, positively concluding that it exponentially accelerates the Sakura's rate of decay. The rest of the crew press on, preventing weak winds from hindering their trek, before resting for the evening. On the 39th of High Lock, a misty fog surrounds the ship as a ghostly galley pulls up alongside the Poundbringer. Macheni senses the presence of undead, while Nakano feels the attendance of restless spirits longing for peace. A gossamer voice rolls upon the wind, cryptic and beckoning, as members of the party board the ghostly vessel cautiously. It's gleaned that the ship would have been active during the wars between the Northern and Southern Dynasty, as the ethereal spirits aboard speak of an oath of combat, but try to direct the party to methods that would release them from their everlasting bond. This urge for battle is tenuously stifled by Tamrin's diplomacy, before a weird flame in the crow's nest is pointed out, and a translucent skeletal arm is tossed into one of the eerie dinghies by its owner. Attention is directed towards the captain's cabin as well, leading Nakano and Tammy to investigate further, as Scoop nearly sets the entire ghost ship ablaze with the flame retrieved from the crow's nest. Macheni and a scoop gather the remains of the long-dead crew, while Tammy examines the captain's logbook, again, hearing the voice on the breeze. The log has documents of peace and declarations of victory, and Tammy fills the inkwell with his own blood, attempting to ratify the armistice, as a spooky melody plays on a music box. His quill is not fast enough, however, but a quick rewind resolves the restless crew, and the gusts depart with a breath of "Take peace, Mackenzie." The party flee the sinking ghost ship, now at peace, continuing their journey. While sailing along, a scoop notices that his stylophone has a new carving/button that plays the ghostly melody when pressed. Several messages are sent out to friends and acquaintances, including the Argent Flame, and some awkward correspondence with Hannah. During their slumber that night, Tamrin has an odd dream of himself aging dramatically, before awaking on the morn of the 40th of Hylock. The orange rays of the sunrise lay gently upon the shores, docks, and abodes of the small harbor town of Longdeck. However, as the Panbringer approaches, a construction site begetting an in-progress large stone cylindrical building comes into view, manned by individuals bearing crimson cloaks. Welcome back to CrestVahllen. It's playing now. It's
Cool.
playing very loud.
Cool.
Get dangerous.
Get dangerous.
All right, cool. So we'll get right into it then. So you are there. You can see Longdeck. Tamron, the smell of the brackish and misty water that sprays up along just one side of like the cliffside that's along the eastern side of Longdeck, because you are on a good sort of southern part, some of the most southern parts, dare I say most southern part of the, well, almost, of the Northern Dynasty. And so you have kind of a little inlet there, and it's a very small harbor town. You see the cliff that comes up over the eastern side that then is so bright because the sun, it has to peek over it in order to cast. I had to remember which way the sun rises for a second.
I was like, did you glitch out? But I see you right in front of me, so.
Sets in the west, right? No.
Yes.
Yeah, sets in the west is how I
Yes.
remember it. Like these are I can't remember that, but I can. It doesn't matter.
I had neighbors.
I
that lived
promise I'm
to the
smart.
west of me when I was younger, and their name was West, their last name, and the sun was set over there. So
Ah.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
mnemonic device. So the sun has to peek over that in order for it to cast a good shadow to cast its rays upon the town. During certain parts of the year, especially this time of year. But you do see it kind of glancing off and giving small shimmering like iridescent rays onto parts of the town, especially glancing off of the ocean. And some of the sun does creep around to the far parts of the harbor on the western side. And so the cliff, as you're traveling beyond it, and you can finally gain view of the harbor town, the smell of, for you, this is home. This has been your home for a long time. I mean, several decades at the very least. You were born here. You grew up here. Meemaw made her best tacos here.
oh, Mima.
There's definitely something of the mainland, and specifically on the shore, the southern shores of the Northern Dynasty, that has this type of sweetgrass that grows in the sands of the shore and up on the cliff sides of those sands, that gives the air a bit of a honey smell mixed with brackish seawater. And you don't find that smell anywhere else. And as it wafts on the wind, as it buffets your sails of your ship, you can't help but remember simpler times when you weren't being chased by Red Lion Syndicate or averting disasters of genocide or trying not to drown thousands of feet underwater and trying not to be taken over by vicious mind-controlling plants. A lot has changed in only 2 months, or thereabouts, since you left home. But this, as you look down at yourself, is not what left home. This, you don't know what this is. And so that feeling of homecoming quickly turns on itself and coils inward and becomes this ball of knotted anxiety. it may be horrible to say, but some of the events that have happened with you guys, the adventures that you have gone on, the people you have rescued, the hunts and dungeon crawls and delves into danger that you have engaged in, and treasure hunts and pirates' booty and all that, have been somewhat of a distraction of how you view yourself and your own identity. And you haven't really had to think about it too much as long as you kept yourself busy. Granted, there were some times along the way where you found out more. But you're reminded in this moment specifically that this is not your body. Almost like you forgot. And you think, will my parents have forgotten? Will my family have forgotten? Among other questions that don't need to be said, but you dwell on heavy in your thoughts. And this other type of feeling roils over that knotted coil as a small cloud passes over the orange lights of the sunrise, and you feel, as you look on the horizon, seeing this structure being built on further inland, further into the harbor, with many workers, and you catch that look of red and crimson caught in the wind as it whips. The sweet grass of the honey and salty, kind of like saltwater taffy on the air, turns sour. And you can smell the sweat. And you can smell the rotting food. And you can sense let me put it this way. Scent is the strongest sense tied to memory. And this memory is in danger of being corrupted by what lingers here now. But you don't really know why, but before you know it, the ship has come into full view of the port town. You see someone on the dock and above at a harbor master's, very small thing. This is a small harbor town. A harbor master's shack by it that's waving you down, that they have noticed you as the current has kind of like deposited you in the harbor. It's kind of like an inlet that you come into. And there is a slight jetty that goes out one way, but not too much, just to prevent large waves from hitting the harbor. You coast on in unless you guys want to do otherwise. It's going to be very difficult to hide your ship, and you have been spotted at this moment.
Yeah, let's sail in. I mean, but Tammy, you look a little pensive. Are you okay? Do you want us to still call you little Boba, or?
I don't know. I mean, I think right now I want to like find my family and just kind of like, maybe without revealing who I am right away, just kind of get a sense of what's going on here, because something feels off. Something doesn't feel like, I mean, obviously there's the red line.
Right.
I do have a
Before
question.
we just come raging in here and like, railing against the red line syndicate, I want to get a sense of what the deal is about.
Right. Okay. We'll follow your lead. I mean, this is your hometown, so
Yeah.
So TJ, is Cameron's voice different when he was before he transformed?
You wouldn't have known. You never met him before.
I know.
I'm gonna ask you that question.
Sean's that's up to you. I imagine your vocal cords and your body is larger. If you think that would be something that would have deepened or changed your voice in some way.
Maybe deepened, but I still, I still have the same like affects. I would think, right?
That's entirely up to you. That's a character decision. That's entirely up to you.
Yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah, okay, that would make a lot of sense. There was probably some of that like puberty-ness when you first got transformed. You're like, whoa, oh, new teeth, new tongue,
Yeah.
weird, new vocal cords,
New dick.
Big and blue,
new long deck.
Long. Oh
Ah.
God.
Now,
You asked me what I wanted to name the town, and I jokingly said Long Dick, and you thought I was serious, and you actually put it in there.
Yeah.
It's now part of the
You said
world.
long deck, but I think you did you mean to say long
I don't
deck?
remember, honestly.
Or did you
I
just
think maybe I was
misspell it?
trying to sneak one by you, maybe.
And I
can't
said,
remember
okay.
now. Yeah.
It's canon now.
Yeah.
It's forever a part of the world.
I might
It's
have
going to
just been
be
trying to
in the
sneak it
book
by
that
you.
we publish.
Oh, no.
No, we've got a very long deck,
Cool. So, yeah, your voice can be whatever you like. Why was there another follow-up question, Cam? or
No. Well, I'm just like, would my
Okay.
dad recognize my voice, I guess is the question.
That's fair.
That's a good question. I would say, I mean, it's possible. You ever meet like a family member during a reunion at some point, and they're young, and and then you see them like 3 or 4 years later, and their voice is like deeper, it's changed, or it's higher, or something like that. I feel like it would be like, oh, I'm like, it still has like the same timbre, and the same tone, I believe, and probably your same mannerisms. But I'm not. That would
that
be
right, though?
more considered about, I suppose, their insight or their familiarity with you. Granted, they are your parents, so they're probably one of the people that is most familiar with your voice.
That's fair.
So, you guys coast in. Just to point out, if there is anything aboard the ship, or anything of the ship or yourselves that you would not like to, I don't know, be declared or be open to being discovered at the harbor or anything like that, it doesn't really matter. It's just saying that you are about to, like many other times, dock at a dock, a pier, meaning that, which is normal thing, usually you pay the dockmaster a fee. This is a very small town, a harbor town, so either it's not going to be much, or it's going to be like nothing, or whatever.
I also
You'll have
probably
to
know
state your
Captain
business.
Avery, right?
Possibly, yeah. There's also, possibility that just know that you're about to most likely leave your ship. On its
I
own
know
with its crew.
Didn't I know Captain Avery before?
You knew.
Oh,
you did
I knew
not.
his
You met
rival.
Yeah.
Cameo.
The-
You knew
yeah.
old Kameo.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, as you get closer, that's who's waving at you on the pier. Is
Hey!
old Kameo.
Hey.
It's
Cameo, my
trash,
dude.
man.
So he knows who I
Buddy.
am.
He does know who you are. Also, remember, old Kameo's like, basic job was running, shipments back and forth between Long Deck and Shylong. And, a couple other things, and picking up trash and doing odd jobs. And
Right.
so it would make a lot of sense that he's here.
Yeah.
He's here quite often. I believe he mentioned that he was headed back here at one point, and you asked him to check in and make sure the family was okay. But again, he had no way of contacting you. So
Avery and he made peace, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
Tenuous.
forced.
Yeah, we'll see. So as I was saying, this would be probably your last chance to if there is anything, you're no longer going to be a nation unto yourself as soon as you dock here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool.
They cannot find the hats. Hide
Yeah.
the hats.
That's what I was thinking too. We have to hide the hats. Put them in
Avery,
the walls. You know.
Should we find the cannon? Because he said it was stolen. This is to Captain Avery.
You mean, don't you have several cannons, or is it just the one? You
Just
only
the
get
one.
to be able to get just the
Oh,
one?
yeah, because they were stolen from the Red Lion Syndicate, right?
Yeah, we should definitely.
Throw a canvas over them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, aren't there several? Because you stole them from the Red Lion Syndicate ship during the battle with the Utumabura.
Weren't
Yeah.
like a lot taken out from something?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Sutumabura.
wasn't that that ship was the ship that the Corps went to?
It was the Northern Dynasty, flagship, like Navy's flagship.
Yeah.
And Captain Imada was being
Yeah, that we don't have that ship.
suggested.
No, but
No,
we
you
stole
don't-
the. Well, we
But there were two other,
commandeered the cannons, so
I believe.
to replace
You
the one
did,
that fell
but
into
I'll-
the sea.
I will check.
But I think, regardless if it's singular or plural, yeah, you're totally right. We should hide the cannon or cannons. Any fighter power is probably really valuable, and that's literally black market kind of stuff right here.
Let's see.
You have the book still hidden on your person, or
That's Tamara.
Sorry, which
Yeah.
book?
Uh,
Oh, yes. Yeah, the
okay.
book. Yes, I do.
Cool. I feel
Yes.
like that's probably also, top secret.
Yeah. Does it just look like a regular book to anybody else?
It does have an embossment on the front in the vellum and leather of a dragon's head.
It's cool.
I am double checking to see. Finds the passing.
The only other thing I can think of is you still have that text about the primordials, a scoop? Or not text, but the compendium of all the different things?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that's also could be confiscated and, taken. Not to say that your town is hunting people for their religious reasons or anything, Tammy, but it's got some controversial stuff in there.
If I'm reading this correctly, you guys, when you had found the Sutumabura out at sea, abandoned, took their cannons and put them on the Pound Bringer. And then the Sutumabura was at one point able to refit at some point via the Navy. Or not, I don't remember. But I believe you did, because it says here that you...
I can't remember now where we got this ship, but we did
we
scrub
went
it, right?
So we went to Captain. We took Captain Avery's ship. We fought the other ship. We took
You fought a
that
Red
ship
Lion
and
Syndicate
started-
ship. Yeah. But then that
Then-
ship got sunk, and so you took a different Red Lion Syndicate ship, and then you went back, did some repairs, went back out to sea, used the diving bell, got your one cannon back after that big meteor and big wave thing.
yeah.
But this is after you were in Saivesh. The Bakers' dozen quickly gather themselves, including Toma, and rush out to sea, finding the maroon Sutumabura missing many of its cannons and floating hither and yon, its crew nowhere to be seen. Instead, the party finds that Piscine creatures and odd other fish people are aboard the ship, relinquishing the cannons from the galleon's grasp. They're taking the cannons. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you still only have one cannon then.
Okay.
Okay, that's from my understanding. Yes, you can throw a canvas over it if you like. Yes, you may. Great. Anything else? Or is it docking time?
I think other things that might be sensitive, including the cure for the sakura blossoms, the cleaning cube, that sort of thing. They're just in my necklace, and I can claim or I will try to claim the I'm part of the anime jai community. Just this is my stuff. Leave it alone. Thank you. That kind of thing.
Okay, cool. The ship pulls in as the crew do what they're supposed to do. They're experts at docking, and they drop anchor, hoist the sails, throw lines in as Kameo catches one of the lines and starts hobbling over and tying it to one of the piers as you hear the wood of the, humble pier creak against the weight of the pond bringer. Now that you're here and you're in, and you're not all super focused on what is in the town, you do see that there's a couple other smaller ships, small trader ships and fishing ships here. There is another large, what looks like a galleon here. This is fitted with what looks like about 20 cannons. Has a
20
crimson.
cannons.
It has a crimson stripe around its hull, and large crimson sails across it. The bow and the stern, the forecastle and the helm are all manned by what looks like heavily armed. I don't want to say like heavily armed, but armed more than just regular civilians chilling in the town. Individuals also bearing some coat of but some code of color, a splash of some sort of red in that, and that gradient. It looks like there's about maybe 20 people aboard, just mussing around doing their business, standing guard and a couple other things. This is a galleon. This is bigger than your ship. Like the ghost ship before, this is about twice the size of your ship.
Or Red Lion ship?
I would say this is, I don't want to say twice the size, maybe about like 60% bigger, something like that.
It's a
I
red
don't think we can take this one,
Syndicate ship.
Kemi.
I want it,
But
it's so
it does
pretty.
look like a Red Lion Syndicate ship. And then is also, then as you glance away and you see into the town, individuals dressed in the same manner, overseeing other individuals, some wearing red, some not, that are working on looks like work just started for the day, working on this structure, this stone cylindrical structure that's further inland that you can just see, barely really see way out in the distance.
I turn to Nakano and, are you okay? I know these are, what happened in the past with you, and obviously what happened with us, but are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Thank you.
I'm sure I'm sure there's some way we can do something about this. Right? Take, at least maybe purloin one of their cannons. They don't need 20.
Okay. I'm down for that.
Sabotage.
I like what you're thinking.
What's the name of the ship?
On the stern, it says the Rite of Crimson.
Like R-I-T-E.
R-I-T-E, yes.
Violent.
Correct. You see Avery go like, "Well, blow me down," as he reaches over the starboard side, leaning over, looking down, and Kameo's like, "Oh," and just drops the big heavy rope as he's like finished tying it up. "I didn't expect to see you here."
Kameo, old
Kameo's
friend.
voice?
I'm just gonna kind of, I don't remember. I'm just gonna kind of jump between them.
"Oh, it's more like this." Wait, no, I fucking
You
can't
did
remember.
literally almost the same voice, but then opened one eye on the other side.
Was that what the voice was,
That's
or is that
funny.
what I just
It's
did?
pretty damn close. It's like,
Okay.
but yeah.
Right, because Kameo has...
Yep.
No, because he has the... Yeah. That's so stupid. Why did I do that?
That's hilarious.
But Captain Avery adjusts his
Yeah, he just moves it back every once in a while. But like you see Captain Avery make sure he's the opposite of Kameo right now, so you don't get them confused. Oh God, what was Kameo's voice? It was more like, "You're a good kid." It was a little bit more like a little country, wasn't it? Just a tad.
A little, but it wasn't like.
You're a cute kid, Tammy. You go.
Yeah.
Take you.
Yeah,
Good
that
boy.
one.
Yeah,
Good boy.
yeah,
That's the
but
one.
still,
Yeah.
still same like tone
Yeah, like.
and gravel in your voice.
Well, it ain't the little shit stained captain coming in with less. What?
Wait,
Where'd you
close
get
your
an
eye.
arm? All right, sorry. Where'd you get an arm? Hey, if I told you I'd have to make you swim with the fishes. Oh, pardon me. Tammy, you bored, Tammy.
What did you
Tammy, I
say?
can't see you, Tammy. Tammy.
I'm right here. What?
Oh, there you are, Tammy. You were in my blind spot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's good to see you. Come on down here and give me some sugar.
Oh,
Sugar's really expensive right now. Are you
Oh,
sure you want
just
that?
Give me a good touch. I want a little hug from my buddy. Oh, you good boy, Tammy. You good boy. He pats you on the back.
oh yeah, he did say that a lot. How's the family, Kameo? You talk to them at
Oh
all?
well, I mean, there's a couple things going on right now. Little blood boys have come around saying they've done something called eminent domain and claimed a part of the land of the town to build some sort of fortification against possible rising concerns of danger on the horizon.
I
With
see
their
that.
quoted words. Apparently, they got hired by the Northern Dynasty government or something like that. They've been here for a while. It looks like they're building some sort of fort tower or something. Brought a couple people with them, some indentured servitude.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot we can do about it. But, every once in a while, I do my best to make sure they're snuck, get some good food and stuff like that. And, well,
So have you
we don't
mentioned
usually
the-
get people like that out in the sticks, so it's not something we're really prepared for.
So what's the general vibe? Like, are people welcoming of them or?
I mean, they're kind of just regular douchebags. Nothing like just run-of-the-mill douchebags. Like, they're like bullies and assholes. Like, they haven't
Yeah.
hurt anybody just quite yet. But
Except
I
for
mean,
the indentured slaves or whatever you
Well,
call them, indentured servants.
yeah, I would say they're like fascists in training.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too great, but just try to slow down. I'm a little thing every once in a while, just be like, hey, you don't have to work fast, just work slow, just take your time, make sure, I'm trying to from the inside, but there's only so much I can do. I can't really, don't really pay attention to old Kameo much anymore. But anyway, family's okay, a little concerned, the whole thing.
Sure.
Again, we're out in the sticks here, so we don't usually get this type of whatever that is. As he looks at the galleon. So,
Have you mentioned it all, like, me and my state being to anybody?
well,
yet?
I believe if I remember correctly, it ain't what it used to be. But you told me specifically not to.
You drunk, Kameo?
No comment.
Is it like 6
As he
o'clock
pulls
in
out
the
a
morning?
flask and takes a sip.
He's just going from the night before.
Yeah.
Like, there's a brunch or like a diner nearby he frequents,
So, I would say, the town's been kind of like requisitioned to supply for governmental contractors, as technically what they are. So, they kind of have the run of the place, and they don't pick up after themselves, and the tavern's left a mess every night, and some of the families have been contracted or roped into helping out with the cooking and stuff like that in order to feed the extra mouths. And I mean, it's not great. Not great. I mean, we're okay. They haven't harmed us or anything, and I don't think they really care about us that much. They're just... Let's just say I've seen things like this happen before in other places. It's only a matter of time before they just take over the whole town and call it a military outpost.
Who
That's not good.
sent them? Do you know? I know they said eminent domain, but like, is it the government?
I've been trying to find that out. Someone high up.
It's probably
Who's
the
the
government,
captain?
right?
I'm sorry. Who's the captain? Oh, yeah, captain. Captain. Well, he's more of like a prefect. They don't really have captain ranks, and well, they do, but this is more of like
Who's
they're
in charge of the ship?
mercenaries. Government. Oh, right. Well, yeah, I guess he is a captain then too. Yeah. Ravik Calf. Prefect Ravik Calf is the one in charge of the Red Lion Syndicate. At least the detachment that's here.
And the ones below him, just so we can get names.
I don't know any of their names. I really haven't bothered to learn.
Okay.
But he'd be the one to talk to. I mean, if you want to, be on his radar, that is. But
Do you know what he looks like?
he looks like he's got a little got a chin that's kind of like this perversely stuck look right up here, just like up like here, like he thinks he's better and taller than everybody. And he's got a little stubble. He's got a little bird-mark stubble, or he's got a little white patch in his beard. A little bit, got a 5 o'clock shadow thing going on. Side shave, short hair side off to the other side. Always clips his helmet to his belt. Wears a crimson cloak. Some
Anyone
scale
that
mail.
piques your eye out of the crew, besides their captain?
I mean, they're all just regular run-of-the-mill assholes with weapons. So, they all look the same to me. I'm
No.
colorblind when it comes to red.
Okay.
I haven't told your family, Tammy, but I did tell them you're okay.
I told him that too, I think, at one point.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
What do they think about the cousins that are missing?
Oh, right.
That came along with me that are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Kyoshi and Song, right?
Yeah.
So, they've been missing ever since. Their parents and family are a little concerned. Haven't seen them. They haven't come back at all. Nothing like that. So, have you seen them?
Well,
Not recently, no.
no, not recently. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I mean, if you do, just let us know. I guess they're a little worried, but got some other concerns right now too. What's the occasion? Why are you coming back?
Well, an obligation to passing wanderer that we met, and also just to kind of check in, see what's going on.
All right, cool. Before I forget, a letter came for you when I was out. While you were away.
Ooh.
It says it's straight from for your eyes only. It has this big old seal of, like, if I remember correctly, that's some lemur fudum. Oh God, what is it? Liar confer. God, I can't remember. It's got one of those elvish things on it.
You mean like a
From the
seal?
Bardic College?
I don't know. It just has a big old beautiful wax seal on the back, and it just says, "To the attention of Tamron Grounder, eyes only."
Does it have a rainbow bead?
No. Just like a coat of arms or a seal. It looks all elvish on the back with wax. You want it?
Can I try to
Yes,
read
please.
Sure. He gives you.
Hey,
hands
this
over
is mine, man.
beautiful.
Oh, no, I meant he said the
That's a
Elvish on the
federal
back.
crime. That's a federal crime.
I meant just read this. Read the
Illegal.
stamp. Or the
Illegal.
seal.
He hands over this letter. It's like a large letter. It's about this big, and it's got a just says, "To the attention of Tamron Grounder, eyes only," and on the back it's complete intact seal. This red wax with this beautiful, very intricate and ostentatious. Looks like elvish in nature. This type of seal, and because you're an archaeologist and somewhat studied in culture. This does not look like the college, technically.
Will.
This also does not look like the same form of seal or whatever that, because every time Pentonville has sent you stuff, it has been with the seal of the Bardic College or Bardic University, I should say. And so this doesn't look like it's from him. Also, the last time you communicated with him, he sent you a little air elemental with a chest that gave you a bunch of stuff, and he gave you a scroll with that stuff.
That's cool.
And he gave you a scroll with that said spell for you to send him back any information should you attain it. So that has been your...
It's a boss move. I would like to open the mail, please.
Sure, you snap open the seal, the wax seal, and you feel... I'm going to say... Actually, roll an Arcana check.
I didn't feel shit. Yeah.
Oh shit.
4. You just feel tingle when you open the just a little tingle. You're not sure, just like maybe you're just nervous when you pop the seal. Inside is a very, very, very fine piece. We're talking about like the top tier of resume paper. Very, very, very fine piece of parchment, with just a couple lines on it. Nothing too scribed in absolutely ostentatious, beautiful like filigree. And it says, to the name of Grounder, whose given name therein Tamron, comma, new line. Your attention and attendance is requested by order of Lady Masha Ehrenbach herself. New line.
Lady, can you say that name again?
Lady Masha Ehrenbach. Masha Ehrenbach. Aranbach. Let me double check that.
I always thought it started.
Let me double check. Hold on.
Hell,
Where
that
is it? There we go.
Lady.
And my mouse is not working again. Don't know why. Yeah, Aranbach. It further goes on, as patron and sponsor of the College of the Unearthed, Lady Ehrenbach wishes to discuss with you in person your recent findings. And I have to actually correct what I'm saying. This is actually written in first person, not second person. It says I, comma Lady
Damn it.
Lady Masha Araba. I. It doesn't matter. It's actually and you realize that oh shit, she wrote this in her hand. This is actually from Lady Masha Ehrenbach. I, Lady Masha Ehrenbach, request your attendance, or order your attendance.
Order. Okay.
Well, it does say order your attendance.
She's ordering me.
Who
does she think she is?
Technically, she owns the College of the Unearthed.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so she does. So I know who this is.
I would say, yeah, you know what? I would say everybody go ahead and roll a history check here. There's only one last line that I'll do while you guys are doing that.
Well.
It says, your reception of this letter has been noted.
You got it too? You got it too?
20 on the die.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
20.
Natural 20. What is going
Natural
on?
Okay, cool. So it says, hold on, let me finish.
Ooh.
So it says, your reception of
I
this
also
letter
like it.
has been noted. I expect a prompt response.
Oh, so she knew I got it when I opened it. That's
And it says, Lady Masha Ehrenbach.
22.
Lady Masha Ehrenbach of House Ehrenbach, member of the Lithuanian Confederacy of Sarnla, and all these other titles.
Do you think I need to write down all those titles?
Matriarch of blah, 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 blah.
I got you, bro.
Matriarch of the Ehrenbach family, of House Ehrenbach, sponsor of, or founding member of the College of the Unearthed. So,
Does it have an address? Do addresses
no,
exist? Is that a
no,
thing?
but no. It seems like her name has so much clout that you should know where to meet her.
Okay. I rolled a 22, so I know who she is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go around. Who? Noelle, what did you roll?
I was literally writing that whole time, so
it's okay.
my history is a 6.
A 6. Okay. So, Misheni, no.
No,
And you
makes
got
sense.
natural 20s, and 22.
Yeah.
What does that put you for your history, Nakano and a scoop?
23.
22, 23,
Plus
and 22.
She's
Okay.
smart.
She's also traveled all over. Okay, so Tammy, you know who this is. This is the person who made the College of the Unearthed possible. They have gobs and gobs of money. She is the matriarch of House Ehrenbach of the Lithuanian Confederacy based in Sarnla. Sarnla is the last bastion of those from the old Elven Empire. It's kind of like the Elven capital, but not really, but yeah, kind of. They're somewhat insular. They have a lot of power as run by an oligarchy of a couple different houses. The aristocracy branch is political power in the hands of a small class of privileged individuals who claim higher birth than the rest of society. So they, some people, if you ask them, they would say, "Oh, the Ehrenbachs are in charge," and some people would say, "Well, I don't know about that."
She's like
but it's
Queen Elizabeth.
kind of, but not a queen.
Yeah.
It's an oligarchy, so there's a bunch of different houses. But Ehrenbach has been viewed publicly colloquially as like one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, of the houses in Sarnla. So
Where did you say she is again? Sarnbla?
Sarnla. So this is I'll spell it for you. If my mouse decides to work.
It's in the northern part of the continent.
Yeah, it's in the northwesternmost part of the continent of the mainland of CrestVahllen. It is Sarnleux. So it's got a bit of like a French feel to it. It is an elven name, or it's a Sylvan name more likely, which is like old elvish and related to Fae and other things. It has been there for a very, very, very long time. Toulay is not too far. Well, too far. Toulay is east of Sarnla, also on the northern banks of the or the northern areas of CrestVahllen, not too far. Where that is where the college, the university, the Bardic University is
Oh, she's
stationed.
way out
Quarters.
there.
Yeah.
way.
She
over
wants
there.
to meet me? That ain't gonna happen.
It's a magic.
Yeah, well, that's true.
It doesn't say a time. It just says that she expects your prompt response, which is odd.
Is there like a return
guys-
envelope or something
nope.
magical? Oh.
Nope.
Wouldn't that be great though? We'll
Nope.
already
You
stamped.
also get the sense that there is also, while you're like reading and you're thinking about this, the envelope in your hand begins to disintegrate. The letter in the envelope begins to disintegrate, just fall apart into small wisps of fibers and papers that just get carried off in the wind. And the letter's gone.
How long would it take, like a letter, if I were to just like write an analog letter and send it? How long does that take?
To traverse thousands and thousands of miles across land and sea,
Y'all got
I
pigeons
would
or something?
it's possible, but you're limited to the amount of that. It's possible. It would take weeks, if not months.
Okay. She would know.
Technically, not legally, but technically, like Lady Masha Ehrenbach is Pendleton's boss, kind of. Pretty much
Right.
the sponsor that was able to bankroll all of it. But
Didn't I
then
use
again,
that
Tulay is
scroll
its
already?
own thing. I'm sorry, one second. Tulay is its own thing. They're not no power over nations. They're not allowed. Nobody can have power over them. They made sure that they're their own city state, and they're severely neutral for that reason. And I'm sorry, what was your question?
I think I already used that scroll.
You
Right.
may have to send him.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
did.
know if
Yeah.
you sent him things
I
back.
did.
Yeah.
Turn in your
Yeah.
thesis.
Yeah, I did.
So there's another puzzle for you to figure out.
Hey.
Maybe we
What
can
you
do
guys
some-
all rolled really well. So let me give you some more information about it. Lady Masha Ehrenbach is a very powerful person that has been around for very long. She is pure elf. She is a dark elf. She is female. She identifies as female, and she has been around for a very long time. Purebred elves like her can live for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And she has been around for a very long time. And she claims lineage from the old ancient elven empire as one of the nobles or the higher ups or like actual descendancy from. Actually, she herself claims actual descendancy from the original emperor of the ancient elven empire, Emperor Selendis of the Selendian Empire. So, and this all comes to you. You guys all rolled above 20, so you're like, oh yeah. Well, except for you.
I'm like,
Yeah.
she knows my
Just be like-
name.
Nakano knows. Oh wait, I know about Selendist. I was like, read it in some books or heard it from some like Budke
Well, and we
as I was
found
traveling.
the ruins, and Tammy identified.
Correct. So and even
Probably
so,
why
like
she's
those ruins that you
interested.
found in the well wall that like you got your curse of like the forbidden knowledge from. Those were elves from the ancient the ancient elven empire, the Selendian empire, and she claims direct lineage and inheritance from Selendis himself.
Damn. I'm
She
famous,
is
y'all.
extremely powerful, both politically and otherwise. She's also a talented sorceress. I don't mean that in the literal sense, being the fact that she is a talented mage. She is also very talented in ways of persuasion. She runs her house. She consider her equivalent to a queen of a nation. It would be foolish, to say the least, to not respond quickly. If she requested some prompt response, that's
But she,
I
in
mean,
all her
unless you have a
wisdom, must
better
know
idea.
I'm not a powerful magician. Like I can't just like. make things
Here's the
happen
thing.
like that.
Pendleton and you kind of came to the idea like, oh, well, we should be keeping this on the DL and I'll work with you so we can like develop this before we do like that.
Yeah.
And so there was kind of an understanding that you guys were going to keep it on the DL between yourself. It seems like Masha now knows that you know things
Right.
by somehow.
But I mean, she's his boss, so like it makes sense that he would talk to her about what's going on in the school that she funds, right? I mean,
Yeah. It also is a little odd that she is requesting the attendance of someone that she's never met. That's a little odd.
also the attendance of somebody who's thousands and thousands of miles away.
You can also assume that she knows that you are somewhat skilled in the ways of the arcane.
Yeah, but she must know that I can't do teleportation. Oh, I do have a teleportation scroll.
I will say one more thing. You know that people that are powerful like her have information networks. She has ways of knowing a lot of things at any given time.
Did I ever get a response from Pendleton? I didn't, right? About the stuff that I sent?
I don't think so.
He just requested that you send it, and he's going to take a bunch of time to pore over it and through it and work through the archives and like check with his other contacts and then get back to you on other things that he has found. But no, not as of yet.
Roll.
I mean, there should be a way in your town to find a mage that maybe knows the same spell? Or are we in that far of the boonies?
We're pretty much in the boonies here.
Scoop, I'm going to say that you know all of this stuff, but you also have like heard rumors that she is cutthroat and just vicious in a like not necessarily in like a physical way, but just she is this superiority and she does not have time or patience for that. And so she's kind of got this, I don't want to say not like a mean girl I don't want to say that, but she has this
CEO attitude?
CEO attitude where she's posh,
She's the boss.
regal,
Yeah.
noble, and in charge.
Boss girl.
Nakano, you have traveled quite a bit and have heard a little bit more of the rumors of the common man. And one of the rumors that sticks out when that name comes out is that she has lived for very long. So much so that people wonder if she's even mortal. You also know that she is a dark elf. So but she apparently has no problem being seen in the sunlight. Or if she doesn't show it. It's one of the things where she's like just that powerful or pushing through. There's rumors around that she's like she's not elf, she's something else, or she's a monster or whatever. But those are.
Can dark elves not go in the sunlight?
Dark elves are photosensitive, especially to direct sunlight.
So they burn really easily.
They evolved to live in the deep, dark depths of the underground.
You got that SPF 500, bro.
Yeah. I need some of that shit in real life.
Meaning that, and Nakano, you start to put two and two together, and you start to talk to Misheni about it, and you're like, oh, well, if she actually is a direct descendant of Solendis, then at some point, when the ancient elven army scattered, some of them must have gone underground or fled underground, and then over thousands and thousands of years evolved to become dark elves. And she has traced her lineage all the way back there, if you believe what she says. So, great. That's what you guys get.
When I got that letter or whatever you would call that from Pendleton Beville, his likeness appeared in the paper,
In a bunch of
right?
pieces of paper. Yep.
Right. So a Scoop, you saw that, right?
Well,
Scoop was there.
Sorry.
Everybody saw that. Yeah.
Everybody was there, and it happened. Do you
Yeah,
think
it
that's
was-
enough of a likeness to be able to send to this guy?
You tried to play it off as that's a performance. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a fucking stretch.
Honestly, if
But you
even
do
if,
have his name.
We have his name. We know each other a little bit.
You have something that's close to them. You have like a letter that's
No, a
still
letter.
signed by him.
And you saw
You have-
him in paper.
I would say you can make the attempt. I would still make you
Okay.
roll for it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cameron.
I was gonna say, like, like, since we know, I don't know.
You need a
Sorry.
moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Take your time.
I was
Um,
listening to what you were saying, and it just kind of through my head.
Okay. Sorry.
My
about
own
that.
thoughts. My own thoughts.
I know. I have the same way. I have to get it out before I forget. So I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
So. So yeah, I would say it's possible to make an attempt to do so. So Kameo's like, oh shit, what happened? What was that? Oh my goodness. What did it say?
Is everybody just like reading this letter over my shoulder?
Most
know, right?
likely, yeah, probably. I mean, it's this like beautiful,
Yeah,
legal,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
the large oversized parchment, the age, this gorgeous like you believe like the material that even the ink that it was written with was probably like a platinum's like for a drop. Like this is that this whole letter that just disintegrated into nothingness costs more than
Oh, the letter disintegrated too?
the letter that all of it
Oh
disintegrated.
man,
It's a Banksy.
I was gonna frame that shit.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's just gone. Like you could probably buy your town for the amount amount of money it took to construct that letter.
Oh,
Stupid.
Yeah.
Dumb.
That's the other thing. These people are opulently rich because they have kept all of the power, influence, and monetary from the old and like kind of consolidated it from the ancient Elven Empire over there. And so
other than I'm a
they.
hick.
Do you want to try to send now,
Um,
or like give me something to say?
maybe yeah, because she's very powerful, and I want to try to respond as quickly as possible. She knows I opened it. A little scared. Fear of God, you know.
Yeah. Fear of the matriarchy. You know?
Yeah.
Do you want to try? None of you know what Lady Masha looks like. Oh,
No,
my
I don't
God's
want to
gonna
send to
know
her.
name.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Hey, my name's Scoop.
I'm a school.
I'm gonna keep messaging you every day until we get there.
We all just like evaporate.
Get ready to get to know.
Not even like one word out of my mouth, just dead.
Get ready to get to know a scoop.
Yeah, maybe we can say to Pendleton, this is Tamrin. I received a letter from Lady Arenbach requesting my attendance.
Time and location.
What's a fancy word I can use? I'm excited and
Elated.
I'm elated at the
Ooh.
prospect of meeting you.
Of ingratiating your
Of
presence.
wow, these words are just coming from, I don't know, from like God or something.
I'm giving you insight. Yeah, I'll be your thesaurus. Keep going. I love this. This is like
But
my
I have-
DM inspiration.
I have no means of travel for such traverses, for I am but a
Methods
meek
of vast transportation.
methods of
Wow.
vast transportation, for I am but a meek and humble sorcerer as of yet.
At present.
At present.
Oh.
And I have no means of getting this letter to her. How many words is that? It's about
I
25.
A
am
lot.
writing it out.
Let's editorialize it. This is great. I love how like everybody has like just sat down on the docks while like Tamron pulls out this and like a scoop is going like no, not that word, and writes a different one. Like, oh, okay, that's better. And the Nakano's like not this whole, strike that whole sentence. We don't need that. We can just say this and this. And Nakano is just like the most eloquent out of all of you, just because she just has a vast vocabulary from being a far traveler and like knows a bunch of words from a bunch of other places, and she's stupid smart.
I mean, we have about 10 words we got to cut from. This is Tamron. I received a letter from Lady Ehrenbach requesting my attendance. I'm elated at the prospect at ingratiating myself with you, but I have no means for vast transportation, for I am a minor sorcerer and don't have the means for that.
You can just say
We could just say
to the attention
I'm elated
of
to attend.
Lady Ehrenbach.
Wait, no,
Sorry.
let Tam. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I can just say like I'm elated to reciprocate.
I'm elated to reciprocate.
What's
Okay.
the word? Not reciprocate.
No, that's very different.
Another word
Like-
for respond.
Not to even respond, but to do. She's asking me to do, which is meet with her.
You're
At the
related to.
notion, or
You're related
Elated
to comply.
To comply. There you go. Boom.
okay. So then, if we do,
But you'd have to put it in third person because if you say you, then you're talking to Pendleton, and he's like, "What?"
Oh.
I should have just let that happen.
no, I mean, but this is
Well, no, because I am speaking to Pendleton still. I assume he would either relay the information that I'm giving him, or like I'm telling him that I'm elated to comply to her letter.
Sure. He might not know
I'm-
about the letter.
Okay.
but maybe we should
It's
maybe
a
we should say
possibility.
please send this along to Lady Ehrenbach.
But I'm hoping that he just gives me a way to send it to her.
I don't know. The college, like, at least the college I went to, if you weren't clear in your communication, ugh.
Yeah,
The
true.
pigeon's guy.
Also, I mean, like
all-
the spell he gave you is not a nothing. That's a lot
Yeah,
of the money he sent.
big-
That was
it's a
he
big
made
boy.
an investment in you. So just ask me
But
like,
apparently
hey,
this whatever shit I'm doing is really important, right? So I mean,
Right.
cost be damned.
So, do you want to still say something along the lines of like, "Oh, I can't make it right now, but I'm excited to eventually," like that kind of thing? Or are you
No,
just
because I want to make it seem like I want her to understand that like I would love to come today, but
Okay.
like, you know,
You don't have a way.
I'm just a stupid lizard man. I don't, like.
That's typical.
If it means anything, I mean, I got that letter. That letter came for you about a week and a half ago.
Okay,
Maybe a
but
little
she
more.
knows that I opened it just now, though. I think.
right?
That's some fancy malarkey.
Yeah, real fancy malarkey. Balderdash, even.
Every
Yeah.
second counts.
I haven't painted my mouth with that word in a while.
Moist.
So, okay, I wrote this down.
88
just
degrees
so-
tomorrow.
Just
Really?
Yeah.
how does this sound? This is Tamron. I had received a letter for Lady Ehrenbach requesting my attendance. I'm elated to comply today, but do not have the magical means. That's 25 words. I think about the amount that
yeah.
you can send. So,
I think that's perfect.
coolio.
Yeah.
I don't know what that word is, but you know. Sounds
okay, cool. So just for the sake of time, Scoop, you send that to Pendleton Bavul. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me, and tell me what you get.
But I've used guidance before.
That's not what this is. Just a straight luck check. That's not what this is.
Oh, that's cocked. But that's lucky now.
Pendleton Deville, right?
Baville.
Pendleton Bavil.
Baville. Okay. Thank
I
you.
will
I'm just
spell it
gonna-
for you if you like.
I
I
mean,
have
got 14.
Boville.
I'm sorry, BUEXVILLE.
cool.
Hold on.
Like Bow.
Yeah.
Bowville. Pendleton BUEXVILLE.
Yep, got it.
And then Pendleton spelled the way it sounds.
Yeah.
You
There you
send
go.
the message.
And he's like, "Oh, well, that's new. I'll do my best to send over your compliance and concerns. If attendance has been requested in person is what is required. Find a mage.
Okay, well, I do have a scroll of but I don't. Do we have to know about like a circle somewhere? You know, we do, right?
You do.
And also, like, that's an emergency scroll. Worried.
We found a
how many
mage.
words was that?
That's a little bit more than 25.
That's fine. It's okay.
It's like 30.
That's okay.
He's powerful.
He's
He can
powerful.
do it.
Yeah.
He would have editorialized better
Yeah.
than I would.
We could say like what instead of what is, that sort
Yeah.
of thing.
You do then, a moment later, Tamron, you receive a message in your head.
Oh,
Apologies. In 2 days, I can send you transportation coordinates and runes for embassy credentials of Lithuania. You hear him like moan, searching for a word. Credentials? Stand by. Oh my god, I'm so bad at and then it just cuts off.
I like this guy.
Oh,
does
you
mean that-
literally just said that though out loud. That would be the response to him.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the beginning of what you say is, I love this guy. And that goes to him.
All right, so be it.
So that was, you're down 4 words.
Yeah.
I await your stuff and can't wait to meet you in person.
Somehow far less elegant than the first message.
Send team, us as well.
Huh?
Us, we are
You just
people.
gonna, huh?
Yes. Yes, there's a hot.
Can we include?
Oh,
Huh? Can we include my friends? Question mark.
Can we include? And then I believe that's where it cuts off.
Well,
Or something.
I'll double check.
Yeah.
No.
You said with friends?
Hold on. Let
We
me
got at
see.
least friends, right?
3, 4,
We'll
6, 7,
see.
8,
Friends was the very last word.
15, 16, 17, 18,
You meant to
19,
say.
20, 21, 22. You have 3 more
Yeah.
words. 3 more
Can
words.
we include my friends?
Can
But
we
you-
include my
you
friends?
prob-
you,
you're
bro.
I love you, bro.
I
Just
gotta
so,
shoot my shot.
just so so we're clear. I like this guy. I await your stuff and can't wait to meet you in person. Huh? Can we include my friends? Love you, bro.
no, it's huh.
So it went
Oh.
from like super formal to casual Tuesday.
Yeah, because it like caught me off guard. You know, I wasn't ready. We like wrote the other one out.
It was huh. Oh, can we include?
Okay.
So it just ends with love you.
Yeah. Exactly. Amazing.
Great. You don't. You
Beautiful.
wait for a moment. You don't hear another response. So he said, "Stand by. I need 2 days just to try to get you something." Great. And so Kameo's like,
What y'all doing there? What's going on?
Magic.
Oh, I don't know nothing about all that nonsense. Anyway, I gotta go take a piss. So you just like tie her up and take care of what you want. I'm gonna leave you to it.
Me too.
Bakery. The bakery.
You want to piss?
All right. So wait. Almost. Just wait. I promise.
My molars are floating, bro.
Agreed.
Me too. Me too. So Okameo goes back into his shack, and you see that there are 2 Red Line Syndicate members at the end of the pier, just kind of like standing there, guard. Scoop, the rest of you leave the crew to do what you're going to do. Hurt and, for the moment, Hurt and Captain Avery are going to stay on the ship. I assume the rest of you go into town then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The rest of you are going to go into town. Scoop, you head straight to the bakery.
Of course.
Tamron, where are you heading?
Where is like my dad like to?
At home mostly,
Oh.
but if he's not there, then he's usually working his garden. I mean, or like, which is like, he's got a backyard garden, and then he's got a part that's has better sunlight, that's a little bit closer to the woods. It's a couple 100 feet away.
I'll go to the backyard and hang out there and wait for him to maybe show up.
So you want to go to the backyard of your not of your home, but of the family home, your parents' home, because you
That's
had your
right.
own place.
Yeah.
Okay, you go
Oh,
there.
I
and
had my
Nakano-
own place. Oh,
Yeah, you had your own place. Remember? Yeah, you lived on your own. You
Yeah,
lived
I mean,
up the
let me
hill a
go.
little bit.
Let me go just check out the state of things over there. I mean,
Oh, you want to go home?
yeah, I
cool.
guess so. Yeah.
Nakano, who are you going with? And Masheni, where are you going?
Maybe I'll take a look with Tamron.
I can't hear you, hun.
Oh, sorry. With Tamron?
And I'll go with the scoops because
Okay, cool. So we split off 2 parties. So Scoop and
I'll
Masheni
probably
go to the
definitely
bakery. Nakano and Tamron go to the house. So here's what we're going to do first. Tamron, you see your old home. It's got that circular door that kind of moves like this.
it's
like those
Hobbiton.
French doors. No, it's not Hobbiton. These are like kind of like egg-shaped above ground things where only the
okay.
bottom of the egg is cut off, and you kind of go in, but it is still has some thatch and other things growing on it. And the door's there. It looks a little, I don't want to say worse for wear, but just a little, not as kempt as you had kept it, I would say. What do you do?
Go inside.
The door's locked.
Do I not have a key?
You pull out your key, and your key doesn't work.
Oh shit, he was.
I'll knock.
Evicted.
You knock.
We don't need
Did I own this house or was it like? was I
Hey,
renting
whoa, come on. It's like the middle of, it's like too early in the morning. I still got like 2 more hours.
it? Did I rent this
Coming
place
from
or did I
inside.
own it?
Nope. You owned it.
Do I recognize the voice?
Nope.
I'll come back in a couple hours.
No, don't come back in a couple hours. What are you doing? Like,
Okay,
why are you here? Like you see here. Wow, what are you doing? It's like looks like mostly balding halfling with like what was trying to grow a like a goatee but unable to, as it's kind of like more puby than anything. It's just a little wrinkled, just middle-aged halfling. You go like, wow, what do you want? Oh,
Do I know this guy?
Shit! As he looks up to you, this person does not look familiar at all, and that's where we're gonna take our break.
Okay.
Somebody's squatting in my house.
So I'm gonna be squatting in my home.
This was mine.
All
I
right.
owned it. All right.
We'll be back in a little bit, guys. Stay tuned and stay safe out there. Alrighty, buddy, and welcome back. Woo! So we left off with getting a letter from Lady Masha Ehrenbach and Nakano
Slaughter.
and a Scoop going off to the bakery while Tamron and Masheni go.
Nope, other way.
No.
Other way around.
Really?
Machete.
Yeah.
and
Oh. Right. Oh, Nakano and I'm sorry. So we Nakano and Tammy went to Tammy's old home. Found it occupied by a middle-aged halfling individual. And we'll pick up there.
So this is my house. I know that
what
might
do you
seem
mean? I'm
crazy.
like renting it. Like I'm renting it
This, yeah, from who though?
from I don't know the grounders, I believe.
Oh, I'm a grounder. That's probably my parents. Probably
Oh, you
renting
are?
this.
What?
Yeah, I know it's pretty weird.
How? No, I don't think
uh,
so, bub.
I don't need your approval.
Nice try, but I mean, I'm not letting you inside.
I'm not gonna. It's fine. It's cool. You can stay here. I don't really live here
Whatever
anymore
grift
anyway.
you have going, I mean, like I don't want to buy anything from you. Like I've
don't-
already got enough
I
problems.
don't. I'm
don't
not
need
trying. Look,
the
I
Girl
just.
Scout cookies.
This is
don't
my
need 'em.
house. This is my house. I just was coming to see how it's going. I'm glad to see that my family's making money off of my house while I'm not around. That's totally
Again,
fine.
not buying
I'm
that
just
they're
gonna-
your family. You're
do
like
we
a
look
big
like
lizard.
we're selling
not
cookies?
happening.
Okay, whatever. I don't care. Bye. That's the end of that.
Okay. Good
Sorry to
riddance,
bother
Louie.
you.
Closes the door.
Wanna sneak
All
in?
right. Well,
Jeez.
I don't really live here anymore, so that's okay, I guess.
Do you want to live here?
No, I mean,
Nakano's like, shh, you want to live here?
no, I live on the pond bringer now.
Okay.
Great. So where are you going?
I wish it was kept up a little bit more, though. You know, kind of let it go.
when
Wanna
you
knock
turn your
again?
face away from the microphone, I cannot.
I'm just a
hear you.
little upset that it wasn't kept up better.
So where are you going?
You're
You're just kind of loitering outside someone else's home.
Do you want to see where I grew up?
Okay. Show me.
Take her to the garden.
Take her to the backyard garden.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is in the property of the
Oh,
grounder
no.
house. Is that where you want to go?
No, sorry. Is there like an
That's
outside
okay, I
place to
just-
hang out?
I should have just let you go there. And be
No,
like, what are you
no, I
doing in
wouldn't
my
have done that.
backyard?
I wouldn't have just barged. No. I just want to hang out and wait till I can see my dad from afar. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, sure. Do you want to try to surreptitiously lean up against a house or a fence on the opposite side of the street, or on the side of the road?
Yeah,
Or-
that sounds pretty good.
Okay,
Is there,
cool.
like, a
I mean,
park
here's the
bench?
deal. You're a
Bench here?
Dracosh that a lot of people don't know what those are. Little big old blue lizard man and a short but still very frightening purple tiefling with many spidery limbs protruding out of her back, just walking through town.
How
And
early in the morning is it?
It is about right now just encroaching 6 a.m.
Oh, for real? How early does my dad wake up? How early do my parents get up?
Butt crack of dawn,
Okay, so they're up.
5:29 every morning. Your
They're
father
up.
wakes up. Your
Okay.
mother is more of on a schedule anywhere between 6 and 11, depending on what needs to get done that day.
I mean, I guess. Oh, should I just get in there and just kind of
Yeah. So we didn't come all this way to not.
I guess you're right. No, I'm just afraid because.
There's got to be a way to prove you.
But it's not even just that. It's just that my cousins, I kind of tangentially responsible for their death, and they're still waiting to see if they come back. But I know that they were a victim of the slave blossoms, and so I'm kind of battling with whether I tell them that, which I feel like I have an obligation to. But then, am I going to be blamed? I have to tell them. I can't just let them live in false hope for their whole life.
Yeah. Not fair to them. Do you want me to tell them?
I feel like it should come from me since
Yeah.
it is partially my fault, if not all my fault.
I don't think you should be that hard on yourself.
Thank you. I'm gonna knock on the door.
Should we throw a rock and then they'll?
Break the window.
Nakano's like, I love this little vignette of you guys deep in conversation. Nakano's like, yeah, like quiet but still giving somewhat potent advice the best she can, as you walking through the Death Warden and Blue Drakash walking through this sleepy harbor town that's populated most by halflings and humans and like a bit of a small spattering of some other things, and just abruptly finding yourself standing before the door, staring at each other, and Nakano looks at you. He's like, "Well, do you want me to throw a rock at it then?" He's like, "This is how I know how to solve problems."
Well, I know how to solve problems with my fist. And I knock on the door.
You knock on the door. Hey, I'll be right there. Hold on. Shh. Whoa. So early in the morning. Goodness. Oh, right. And then we're going to move over to the bakery.
Wait, can I just know whose voice that was?
That was Mima's voice.
Mima. That's my mom.
That's
I
your
assume.
mama. That's your mama. She called Mima because she's got grandkids. Everyone calls her Mima. Because you have other brothers and sisters that have children. So, a scoop and Misheni, you find your way following the sweet fragrance of baked carbohydrates in a beautiful oven with yeast and butter and milk.
At least I
Alright.
can buy bread here,
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
There's a small little humble bakery, or like half of it's open air. It can be closed up in a certain area. You see a couple breads out for sale, wrapped in what looks like some burlap or parchment. There is a what looks like this is it's a three-quarterling, if you will, an individual who looks like is not quite halfling, but not quite human. Like 3/4 of the way through both of those. That is manning the stall here. She appears to be still coaxing up the coals and throwing some wood into the oven that appears to be made out of some sort of clay and sandstone.
shoot!
mortar.
We forgot to ask what Tamron, or we forgot to ask Tamron what they're good at making here. Like, what kind of
Shoot.
bread?
I mean, I guess we could just pretend that, and just ask her.
Like-
But she's probably gonna tell us the most expensive thing. So, like,
That's what I was thinking.
She also has really good ears, and if you want to know about the long neck special, I suggest the Danish.
Hmm.
We have a really good berry Danish. That's what
They got
a specialty
Deutschland up
here.
in there?
What's a Danish?
Danish. You look a little glazed sweet roll with a little bit of fruit in the middle.
Oh, okay. I mean, I know what gooseberry is, but
Yeah, it's a good berry. It's really good. We get some we try to go. I would like, if I wish, if I could, I would like to grow more of the good berries local. But unfortunately, sometimes the soil here. What are you gonna do? So we do import them from the Willamette Dominion, all the way out in Kalodi Fields. So they're good. Still a little bit of salty air on them. Give them a little hint. You can just smell the misty. It's really good. Just the misty spray of the ocean as they travel across.
well, the salty,
gives it-
salty
I
sweet
don't-
combo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even have to add salt. Just them being in the air of the sea, open. I request specifically
good.
that the crate be opened when they arrive here. But everything else, wheat, the gluten, the yeast, all that jazz, homegrown, all created here.
I mean, Scoop, what looks good to you? What are you craving that you can't make yourself?
No, wait, don't tell me. You, and she looks you up and down, you are a tall individual. I can see it right now. A tall individual, meaning you
Very
have a
perceptive.
tall appetite. So you
Notice.
like tall bread. You want a baguette. Here you go. There's a baguette. That'll be 4 copper for the baguette. But also, No, you have discerning taste as well. You want to find things that haven't been made before. You want a bunt cake. You want a bunt cake. Yep. Want a bunt cake? I got one. I'm in the
Me?
process of making one. It's been rising all night.
Me?
So just wait.
Me?
Just wait.
Isn't,
Yes, they're
I would
pointing at
love
you
it.
this whole time.
isn't it called a bunt?
Oh, what do you know? You're not from here. It's okay. What are you?
Oh, well, that better.
What are you from Bragstar or some shit? Come on.
Actually, yeah, but
Oh, okay. Anyway, like I'll get you. I think you need 2 baguettes and a bunt cake, and then wait a second.
I'm waiting. Can't wait. Come on.
I'm
Hurry.
listening
No
to
longer
your
waiting.
whispers. You need.
is she listening to his stomach, like growling? Is that the whispers
She
that?
just has like large ears. She just puts her hand behind her ear. And she doesn't actually like put her head up against his stomach because she's still across the other way. There's still like stalls in between you guys, like holding those like slanted merchant stall
What do you
crate things that still have a bunch of the stuff on display. Very bizarre, like. And
What do you-
I hear the grumbling and the tumbling is it craves something other than just carbohydrates. It craves
That's impossible. Impossible.
No,
Yeah,
it
do you
also
know this, man?
craves mystery and secrets and the unknown. You want a chocolate surprise? I have it. I knew it. I have. I
Secret.
just got cacao in 2 weeks ago. Took forever to get here. It's like
Cacao.
I finally got it. I've been crushing, making on my own homemade chocolate. Don't ask. It takes a long time. That's how I get these bruises. Don't worry about it. Hey, shush.
Listen.
I'm talking now. No, you shush. Okay, so you need a chocolate surprise. This, my friend, she pulls something from under here. I haven't been able to warm it up this morning, but it needed to sit because it needed a bit of a stiff exterior so it can have a soft exterior. And then I'm gonna warm it up. This, and she unwraps this what looks like perfect sphere of. It at first maybe it's pumpernickel, but then you realize like, oh no, it's like chocolate swirled with pumpernickel bread. But it also looks like it's almost purposely stale and shiny on the outside. Oh, like this, gosh, chocolate surprise. One of my own creations. You bite into it, a little crunchy on the exterior, gooey, gorgeous, whoa, center. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. But
Santa. What's
in
Santa?
each one, I close my eyes and I grab a fruit or like a certain, other thing that would complement. I put all the things that would complement chocolate out on the table, and I just close my eyes and I grab something and I throw it in the center. I don't look. So who knows? Who knows what's going to be inside this chocolate surprise? Who knows? Is it going to be banana? Is it going to be plantain? Is it going to be raspberry? Is it going to be good berry? We don't know. Is it going to be grappa fruit? We don't know. That's why it's called a chocolate surprise. And I will sell one to you. Sell one just to you because I know you need it. And this is one of the first ones I've made since we got the cacao. I know you need it just for a single gold.
I mean, like, do you know who you're talking to, though? This all sounds very good, but just...
Oh? What I'm talking? I'm talking to tall, light, and dairy.
Well, yeah. I mean, none would be so surprised as to find themselves in the presence of the beast.
Thaumaturgy.
You just like put dissonant with the beast. As there's like a slight rumbling
It's
about.
always got to be like a performance.
Yeah, it's very like assassin, a beast. You absolutely do that.
I put
And
my monocle
she's
down
like-
during that, too. Just,
Your lordship, I have heard tales of your prominence. Your entry into this sphere of reality has been heard and felt by bakers abound. We kowtow to your feeling, but your hunger is never ending. I'm afraid nothing of these paltry offerings could satisfy your appetite. But nevertheless, I'm running a business here. You'll still have to pay for everything you eat.
Fair enough.
he's an
It's an honor to be a
reasonable
fan.
beast. Yeah.
Of course,
honor, me, fan.
unlike many of my own peers, I do not cower away from such an appetite.
can I have a 10% discount because you can now tell the story that the beast was here, along with I spent 5 gold here.
Whoa. Now, whoa. Let's
But
not get full of
5
ourselves.
gold.
Let's not put the Danish
Did
before
you
the
not just
baguette,
hear
shall
what I
we?
said?
5 gold. That's a lot of
5
money.
gold is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. So you're basically, he's asking for breadcrumbs on top of, a really expensive wedding cake that she's
So
going to
you
pay you for.
want to make an investment as a sponsor and therefore get sponsor prices in my shop?
Yes.
Hey, who am I to laugh in the face of a business opportunity? That sounds great. Sure. I'll take your gold. You'll take the bunt. You'll take the baguette and the chocolate surprise.
Deal.
And don't forget,
Did you put the fruit in the chocolate surprise already, or
no, it's in there. But as I was saying,
I won't know?
you won't. That's where surprise. Get it? Surprise. Anyway, so
Fantastic.
Prizes is terrible.
as I was saying, don't forget, I made that shift for you. You, by the way, the beast is nothing without a bakery. You know how to make your own bread, beast?
Yes.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah? This is the part
Should I
where
get-
you walk away while I continue these movements.
What if we just do the movements back?
Yeah.
We'll
All right.
just have this cool,
Okay.
This
This isn't the way I wanted this to go,
daybreaker.
so
kind of rave going on.
can you
yeah?
just walk away so I can look dramatic, please?
The beast.
As-
As I walk out.
taking the bread and other
Okay.
goodies.
Good, you guys leave the... Okay, back
I got
to
so much bread.
I know you got the chocolate surprise too. It's great.
Tamarin and Nakano. Tamarin, what's going through your mind as you hear the footsteps meander and get closer and louder towards the front door of the family grounder home, where you sense the familiar gait of your mother?
It's a little lump in my throat.
Nakano, what about you?
I'm very curious to see his parents, what they are like.
Are you nervous at all?
Yes and no. More so excited for Tamarin.
Okay, you guys stand there and you inhale and exhale as the wooden latch on the door begins to move and clatters with some metal as the door slides and adjusts open as it pivots. And you see standing there Mima. Her old curly hair tousled up in a messy bun that's pulled back with graying and white strands, with streaks of beautiful auburn that's apparently she still is able to hold on to. Not as much in the roots, but more in the bun. She pulls it back rather, this is, I would say, rather further to the back rather than on top. Her skin is well taken care for, although still weathered and sometimes wind blasted. You can see there is some marks on her face that she was doing her best to hide by brushing her face with when you sleep on an area and you have that little imprint that's in your skin for a while. Her stature is just a slight bit hunched. You can see that she has a walking stick that she carries. She might not need it, but it's helpful. Her gait is somewhat uneven. She is a grandmother, but she's not yet of elder age. She's kind of on the in-between part there. Her eyes are constantly these tiny almond and these like wispy slits, where she always seems to have the many creases along her cheeks of many smile lines and crow's feet of showing wide ear-to-ear smile. She smirks from one side as she looks up, and she wrings her hands as she holds her small walking stick in one of her hands. Looks like she's wearing some sort of negligee or what do you call it? A muumuu.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not negligee. Like a muumuu.
Gross.
With, like,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, not
but
negligee.
No,
I
open
mean,
and
she
get
could
down.
be.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So she's wearing some sort of like a muumuu over something that she
House
has
dress is what you're
tied a
looking for.
braided piece of leather around to quickly turn into like a fast sundress to make it look as though she has been up for a while. She still wears, she doesn't wear anything on her feet. You can see those large feet that halflings have. She shuffles a bit. And she stares up at you too with these very sweet, like blue and brown colored pupils and or irises. And she squints and she's like, "Hey, may I help you?"
Through like watery eyes and slightly cracked voice, despite like my better judgment, and kind of automatically I just say, "Hi, Mom."
What?
It's Tamron. I know it's hard to believe.
I don't. Young man, I think you're confused.
May I come in? May we come in?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
I'm crying here. Come on.
Oh.
She knows her son's tears.
Oh.
Gotta know her son's tears, right?
Yeah. She's seen many of them over the years.
I'll give you advantage if you want it.
Because you still have your mannerisms.
Right.
You know?
It's also persuasion. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, that's a 26.
Fuck yeah.
I rolled a 19.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna leave someone crying outside in the street at butt crack of dawn. Come inside. Come inside. Maybe I'll put some tea on it. People still sleeping though, so keep it down. Come on. Just make sure you don't. Are you, before you come in, are you mixed up with those, what is it? Mauve
Lion
tigers?
Syndicate?
What do you yeah, that one.
No, in fact, I have quite a bone to pick with them, but we can get into that.
All right. Why don't you
Yeah.
come in? Why don't you come in? I'll put some tea on them. Maybe we can figure out where you'll get lost.
Well, I'm not lost at all, to be honest. Well, is Dad around? I can kind of tell you the
Okay,
whole
sweet.
story.
Why don't you sit down and I'll get you
All
some
right,
tea.
all right.
All right.
Thank you.
You know exactly where to go. It's like humble abode. It's very, it's the opposite of austere, but not opulent. It just has a bunch of these little knickknacks around, memorabilia, and
Is it Higa? Huga? It's just like cozy and like.
yeah, it's very cozy. It's very like bohemian cozy. A lot of paraphernalia of other. There's some like things that are framed on the wall that are a little askew of children's drawings, and it looks like there's a bunch of stuff on the wall that generations of this family have made that they've kind of just decided to display, like small little knickknacks, little drawings, carved wooden figures, some more advanced and detailed and skilled than others. There is everything here looks like it's been handmade by a family member. Even the chairs, the coffee table, the wooden arches over some of the between the rooms in the room, there's definitely a personal touch to everything here, and you can feel by being in here that's like it's cozy, it's still warm in here, although winter is fast approaching, and the cool fall and autumn breeze of the sea does buffet the small sleepy harbor town. It is still warm in here, and you always remember that smell of your parents and some of your family keeping the coals burning overnight, even though somewhat expensive, but there's a lot of people here and it was worth it. And they would always have then the coals ready to cook something bright and early. And so that smell of this particular wood that's burnt here, as well as some of the coals mixed together of this particular type of there's this a very odd species of like a beech aspen that is it's kind of like birch, but also like not birch at all. There's just this white long tree that sometimes makes grows in an odd curve or like a sidewinder shape that can sometimes meld with itself. And some of the forest nearby is that, and it grows along the coast. And you just remember that smell. It's like a mix of pinyon and alder that enters your olfactory memories and puts you right back to your childhood. As you sit down, these cozy chairs aren't meant for people of your size. This is meant for, they don't really have a lot of guests here. You do remember that they do have like one big chair that they make that they pull out for when they do have a guest, but it is not here yet.
I'll ask for the big chair.
You ask for the big chair? So you yell into the kitchen and you go like...
Or you know what? No, I'll just go get the big...
You go get the big chair. It is in the closet that's kept under one of the very short stairwells. And you retrieve it and you put it in the center of the room near one of the clay ducts that warms the area from the coals in the kitchen. And you sit down. Nakano, you are probably small enough to be able to fit into one of these smaller chairs. It'll be a little bit uncomfortable, but you're not as tall or as bulky as Tamron is. You do have to like pull your limbs up and then like wrap them around the back of this like small, comfy rocking chair that kind of creaks as you sit down beneath it. You hear some clunking and clanging in the kitchen. I actually want to... Nakana, what's your passive perception?
It's 13.
13. Tamara, what about you?
11.
11 and 13.
Is there any chance that he might have a little bit of an
11.
advantage because then it's his childhood home and he
Yeah.
would know?
You know what? I'll give it to you. Why don't both of you roll perception checks as you're sitting here waiting?
Yeah.
It's like knowing the creaks and shifts in your house.
the blood of the home.
Yeah.
and
I'm a
the
little
bones.
overwhelmed with emotion right now.
Oh, buddy.
18.
6.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's like you're in your head hard. You pull out the big chair and you're like, and you dust it off because it hasn't been used in a while. And Nakano, you hear a very familiar sound that you are extremely familiar with, which is the sound of a blade exiting a scabbard coming from the kitchen. A weapon being drawn.
Yep. Should we...
You hear, all right, I'm almost, why don't you, looks like you, as she comes hobbling around, not hobbling, but just kind of shuffling around the corner with a tray and some tea, as you heard the whistling just a moment before. You heard the draw of a weapon underneath the whistling. She's a small teapot and 3 small teacups in like a clay and limestone fashion. It's like, why don't you get you, I guess you found Yes. So she puts down the tray beneath you. Is there somebody I can send a missive to for you? Somebody looking for you? Anything I can do that can help you? Are you feeling all right? Did you just come in from sea? Are you dehydrated? Do you need some water?
I just really,
you hungry?
it really is me, Mom, and I just wanted to check in and tell you my story. And I it's really hard for me to say, but I know what happened to Kiyoshi in song, and it's not.
You see, as she's still standing there, just slightly hunched, just putting the tray down, her hands behind her back for a moment. There's this moment of realization, this ripple of realization as her eyes just widen ever so slightly, and she stands up just a little bit more. And as she makes eye contact with you, and just ever so slowly, only almost imperceptibly rocks forward a bit and squints her eyes just a little bit more as she gazes at you. And both of you stand there. You sit, she stands, unblinking. Nakano, there is a sense of, oh, I shouldn't be here. Or
Yeah.
like, not that you shouldn't be here, but like you feel like, but you also like can't go at the same time. Yeah,
Do I
you,
feel
like,
unsafe or something?
no, but what you do hear is that amongst this moment, this sort of like recognition of the peering and into Tamrin's eyes as he gazes back at his mother, two completely different beings in this moment. There's this inhale, and then there's a massive clatter of a clang as this Nakano, you notice this right away, as dropping from Mima's back is a cleaver half her size that she apparently had let go to fall from her form as she rushes into rushes towards Tamrin to reach over the side of the chair to just squeeze him, his large skull, as hard as she can over her shoulder, and begin like sobbing into his neck.
Just gonna cry.
And you both like, weep and cry and have a moment where you're like, I'm home, I'm here. It's okay, Mom. It's okay. And she pulls back and she still holds you, her hands a vice grip on your shoulders, her tiny, small hands compared to your larger form. You can feel those fingers, although crooked and gnarled with work of hundreds of years, still familiar and gentle, even in their firmness, as still bleary-eyed and wet with tears running down her face, and the frog in her throat that's still choking her through, trying to creak out what she can say. We hold from Okameo, but we didn't know, like, if you were okay or what. Like, what happened. It was so unexpected. And then, Kiyoshi and then they haven't been back. They disappeared, and we thought, same may have happened with you. We weren't.
Through tears, I say, gone.
What do you mean they're gone?
I mean, a lot of things have happened.
She takes a step back,
seen you.
finally, like, the bats, and wipes her eyes and says, well, I gather that. I mean, look at you. What happened?
Well, I mean, it's a long story. I'd love to tell it to Dad too. Is he around?
He went over to his little sanctuary, his other little garden that he keeps close to the woods. I keep telling him not to go that far. It's too close to the construction site, but he keeps insisting that he go there every day to check on his, tomatoes and peppers. Some of his he's trying to get
Wait, is
wild
he even-
strawberries to grow into the woods so he can.
Doesn't even wait for breakfast, huh? He just jumps out of bed and runs there.
Gotta check the tomatoes.
Yeah, you know what? Ever since those hooligans showed up and everything, he's been burying himself in his garden work and barely even grabs a Danish on the way out. I feel like we may be drifting, and I'm concerned. But it doesn't matter. Like, you're home. What happened to you? Why are you this? What are you? What happened? Are you okay? Is this a curse? Did some old
No.
witch put a curse on you?
No, it's not
I'll
a cur- I'm
find that
still me.
bitch, and we're
I'm
gonna
still
have
me.
words.
I'm still me, and in fact, I'm enjoying this particular form.
Oh, is this choice? Is this?
I have-
Is,
well, it's
is-
not a
you do feel
choice.
more like yourself? Is this something?
Well-
Was this intentional?
It's not intentional, but I've grown to enjoy this, and I have some new powers, and I'll make like a candle, like
Oh. Either way, I mean, if you're happy and if this helps you with your identity, and you have my full support, whatever it is.
Oh,
you
well.
need.
Thanks, Mom.
I'll always love you no matter where you are, just long as this is still here. I would hate to see if I lost my son, or lost whatever it is you want to be.
No, I'm still me. Different body, new powers.
Powers?
Yeah, I got here, I'll just, I cast exposition.
How much
I'll
do you
tell her.
want to?
Well, I do want to say I want to tell them everything, but I also want to wait for my dad to. I mean, I trust my parents, right? They're not going to sell me out.
I mean, they're your you came from a
Yeah.
very caring and loving family,
Yeah.
full of support. Although your dad and your father and your mother, Mima and No Fret, weren't the most vocal of parents because they had a lot of children to deal with,
Yeah.
many of which have gone off and done their own things, some that are still here, and some grandchildren that are still here with those. They've been
I
around the
figured
ringer, so
so.
they know how to be efficient with their speech when it comes to raising kids, and they don't have to be yelling across the room or whatever half the time. They're experts at gentle parenting, is what I'll say. And so
That's
they've
nice.
been here quite a while. You came from a very loving and comforting and supporting family. Even when they didn't always agree with what it is that you wanted, they recognized that it was something that you wanted. And they loved you, and even though they were concerned and worried, they still supported you. And one of the
Okay.
reasons why
Full trust.
you wanted, full trust. You wanted to move out early. You wanted to move out once you were 20, which is early for
That's
a
good.
halfling, and very, very early for a halfling. And they were worried, to have your own place, but you worked really, really hard and did, odd jobs around the town in order to get your own place. And they were like, okay. And you were one of the more independent of the family. And probably the one they worried about the most because you were so independent. So yeah, I mean, I would say it's up to you. It's your character.
Yeah.
But they have never given you any reason not to trust them.
Yeah. Well, Ma, essentially, that archaeology site I went to, I
mean,
uncovered.
2.5 months ago or 3 months ago, something like that?
Yeah. I uncovered. This is gonna sound kind of nuts, but an ancient draconic being who, gave me these powers and turned me into this being that you see. Didn't
Ancient-
take any of my memories or anything. Just kind of changed my form and
Uh-huh.
and
you say
kind of
an
gave me powers.
hold on. You say an ancient draconic being?
Yeah, a dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah.
Honey, are you sure you're okay? Do you need more tea?
I am okay. I mean, I know it's hard to believe, but I do look like a dragon, right? So,
I've been in this town for hundreds of years, and I had my stints and I traveled about, but I far be it from me to say that I've seen the world. So if you say there's a dragon out there somewhere, who might not trust that that's what you saw?
I do want to tell you everything in detail, and I also want to,
Oh, and is
tell my father as well.
is this your new girlfriend?
Well, this is a traveling
Or someone?
companion of mine, and
Hello.
this is Nakano.
She's doing that whole thing that moms do when she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, and who's your friend?" Like,
Yeah.
I blushed a little bit.
yeah.
Aw.
Well,
Like, oh, you traveling?
Can I blush? Is that possible?
I feel like you
Yeah,
get more
sure, why
blue
not?
or purple.
You're still warm-blooded.
cheeks,
Purple,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
Yeah.
Your cheeks turn violet. You go like, oh well, your traveling companion. Okay, cool. And
Yeah,
how are you
I've kind of-
traveling these days?
Well, I've got a ship with some friends, and
You have your own ship.
well, it's not mine, but it's mine and a few
get
other of my
around.
friends. I'm sure you'll meet while we're
I
here.
understand. Maritime democracy. Yeah, cool. Let me tell you.
Democracy. There you go. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I've been a part of 1 or 2 maritime democracies in my time. Your mom
Really?
knew how to party. She was hip. She was with it.
Okay. All right, Mom.
Anyway,
But yeah, I mean, we've had some pretty wild things happen.
yeah, like children.
Well, so she was no children. But we have quite a bone to
sure?
pick with the Red Lion Syndicate.
Okay.
I it seems from you that they're not so welcome here. Am I getting that
Well,
sense?
I mean, just a bunch of hooligans. Pardon my halfling, but they're just a bunch of hooligans, and they're here from who knows out there.
They're
just
more than
bothering
hooligans,
the
Mom.
common
They're
folk.
slavers, and they're
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
oppressors.
but we try to keep it pretty, PG-13 in this household. We have little ones that are still sleeping right now, but
I know, but between you and me,
okay,
you
fine.
know
There were
what
a
their
bunch of
deal is.
little turd muffins. Ooh, it's exhilarating. I haven't said turd muffins in like a decade.
Do you know why they're here? I mean,
From
this is a surprise to
word
me.
down on high says they're here because they're trying to. It's a strategic point for military advantage and recent
What military?
concerns.
What
I
advantage?
don't
What's
know. I
happening?
don't know. Something says something that came from somebody hired from somebody that goes all the way back to the dynasty. I don't know. Technically, although we're a sleepy little habit, we're still part of the Northern Dynasty, so we can't really stand up when they say, "Hey, we're doing this now." What are we supposed to do?
I don't know. I mean, how strong of a hold do they have?
I don't know. They could do whatever they want. We live in the Northern Dynasty. They're our nation. They're not bad people, but
The Red Lions
everything's okay.
they are bad.
Well, they're hired muscle, and yeah, I think
They're slavers.
They're,
They own people.
like I said,
They
they're turd
own
muffins. Don't make me say
People.
it again.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we don't like them. They're not very nice. They could do better.
Is there like a talk of revolution or striking back at
What do you
all?
mean? Revolting?
Yeah.
Against
Against
what?
oppression.
A whole nation? Well, they haven't really bothered us. They have their own people that they've. It's not great. I don't like it. But what are we gonna do?
What's the? I mean,
We're a
does
bunch of
anybody like-
farmers and fishermen.
Yeah. So we're the Minutemen.
There's only like 150 of us. It's a really small town.
Yeah. How many of them are there?
About the same.
Any magicians among them?
No, I don't think. I wouldn't know. It's not really my expertise. I have been reading into this little book of like love potions, trying to keep, you and your father keep
I don't
things
wanna hear-
interesting.
don't-
And
Mom,
so there's a little bit of
Mom,
black magic that I've
Mom.
been delving in. It does involve the toenail of a hag. Have you come across a toenail of a hag that could really use it? Also, I have been fermenting my own my own scent for a couple of years now, and I'm trying to. because
I'm
I'm trying to
enjoying
prepare
Okay.
with this.
Mom. I meant more.
Well, when you get to be my age and if you've been together for that long,
Get it. I
you
don't want
gotta
to
keep
hear
things
about it though. I
interesting,
understand.
you know,
I know
do you have any
that, but I
idea
don't want to.
how-
I don't.
I have to this moo isn't for show, okay?
Ma,
It needs to be this low to cover
ma,
things, okay?
mom.
Fermenting my
I
own
know that.
scent.
Yeah.
I could learn a lot from
Foul,
you.
dude.
Just
Don't be ashamed. Hey, love is beautiful. What's wrong?
I know
Old people
that,
can
but
get down. We can get up on the good foot, do the bad thing. It's totally fine. Why are you ashamed? Look at this. Look at this. You see my son? She looks over to you, Nicole. You see my
Nobody
son?
wants to imagine their
Ashamed
parent. Well,
of
I
the
don't even wanna
sexual
talk about this.
history and pride that his own mother has, because apparently we're not allowed to be sexual creatures,
It's not
right?
that you're
I
not
don't
allowed
understand
to
what
be
the-
that way,
the-
but we don't need to discuss it in detail with your
Oh,
children.
okay. So when
It's
I was
your-
being censored by my own child, you're not celebrating this from your mother? Come on.
I'm
Where were
happy
you
for
last Mother's Day, huh?
Ooh.
Well, I have the whole story to tell you. I want to tell you everything, but I want to talk to Dad too. Can we go over there and?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll go
Okay.
over there. Oh, let me grab my snack.
Oh. Mom.
Fine. It probably needs another week anyway. She goes like, I will grab a Danish though. When she grabs Danish, she was like, let me just freshen up, okay? Don't want to go walk outside and moo. She goes out and you have a moment to yourselves if you like, as she just preps herself for a moment.
That's my mom.
She's very lovely
Very sexual, apparently.
and
Sorry
open.
about that.
That's good.
Yeah, I know. It's gross though.
there's never been truer acting than right now.
I just laugh because, like, in real life, his mom is nothing like that.
Yeah, I know. I bought
We're pushing the boundaries of how you can act then, Sean. Yeah, come on. You got to get into character. Okay, cool. She comes back after a while. She's wearing a harness with
What type of harness?
just
Sorry.
like
Hold on, yeah.
Like after all that.
she's
back in
wearing
a gimp suit.
no. She's wearing a chemise with a harness over it that
What is
is
that?
attached twice in the front and on the back, and it looks like it holds a large butcher's knife, like a cleaver, in the back, like it's holstered in her back, of which the handle has like collapsed down and folded into the blade.
All right.
And
Okay,
she
Mom.
takes her cloak and she throws it over. Like, what? You never leave, nowadays, you never leave home without being a little prepared. The world is
Yeah.
a dangerous place. We've taught you this. That's why we gave you the pocket knife. The knife, the family knife that you have. Yeah, that's why we gave it to you.
Mom, you're cool. I don't know if I ever told you that, but you're pretty cool.
She leans over to Unicorn and is like, now he notices.
Talking about the knife. The knife.
Still.
Your mom's been around the block in the ocean
Uh,
a couple times. No, not that. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Mine's in the gutter. Don't respect him. Let's just go. Oh, goodness.
I could hang with her.
She's got like thigh high boots on too, and she you see her just like put her walking stick down, like she didn't know who was at the door and decided to like look meek and be like, can I help you? And then she's like, oh, it's family. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking
I'm having a really hard time now with a mental image of what she looks like. Because I had like the old granny look for a while, and now I'm not sure.
So she still does, but now she's like more commando granny, where she
Okay.
has she's fixed her hair and actually brushed it and thrown it back. So part of it does come down. She's let like a strand or two, a couple of curly hair come down in front of her face, and she wears kind of like a small skull cap, but that's very, very nice. It's like adorned with some leaves and like little fake birds and stuff that she wears on there. And under on top of her chemise, she wears the harness with the cleaver in the back with the handles folded down, and she wears a cloak over it that wraps her up. She wears these thigh-high boots that are just like meant for slicking through the mud, and especially now that it's fall. She has these like trouser pants, and she doesn't look. She just looks prepared for the elements with her coat, and she's keeping her defensive, like her weapons, like hidden under her clothes. But she does definitely look like, as you see her like put on things, she's a little muscle granny. She's a little muscle granny going on, thing going. She's seems like she keeps herself, in good shape. But you leave and you trudge through some of the muddy roads now that the mist has turned to a slight.
I'm picturing like Jamie Lee
Sprinkle.
Curtis. Is that okay?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
You know
All right,
what?
cool.
But like halfling style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your mom still eats yogurt every day too.
Oh, for sure.
Like-
Yeah, I would say that, but not the short hair.
Yeah.
And nowhere near as tall. And she's
I'm just
still
thinking like the Halloween vibes, like.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, she just she could take care of herself, and she's a strong, independent woman, with her own sexual history. So you guys do pass a couple red line syndicates on your way that give you and Tamarin and Nakano a couple looks. You do meet up with you see a Scoop and Macheni chowing down on a Danish and a baguette, like looking at each other, going down the street, and then you go,
You guys, hey, this is really good. Chocolate surprise. You should really try some. If a Scoop is okay with sharing.
Oh, I've had plenty. I've
Oh.
had the chocolate surprise before.
She was like touting it was a new thing. It was-
She's very charismatic.
we were had. God,
Well, no, I mean, is she wrong? Is it bad?
no. I don't know. A Scoop, you're the beast. So like, is it?
do you guys you guys bite into the chocolate surprise?
Do you want to share it, everyone? Yeah, let's
do
share
it.
it. Split it 3 way or 4. Do you want one, Taryn? You said it wasn't that good. Or
No, it's good.
oh,
I'm just saying I've had it.
do you want
before.
one? Do you want to slice it?
That's
Pie,
okay. You
please?
guys enjoy.
The chocolate surprise, just so you know, is about like 7 inches in diameter.
Oh,
What the?
It is
heck?
large.
damn
It's
loaf.
like this big. Yeah.
Holy cow!
And it sounds
this
like
is my
somewhat
mom,
hollow.
by the way. Mom, a Scoop.
Are these-
Machete.
Oh,
Mama
Is this
Taryn.
your boyfriend? Is this?
Is it
this
my
your- is this your
boyfriend?
Is this your boyfriend? Then?
Ooh,
Is it who's
Who you
who's
Oh.
your friend? Who's your friend?
Oh, this is
this
a Scoop, and
Yeah?
this is
Okay, cool.
so far none of us are romantically inclined, but
no.
Oh,
we're
okay.
we're
Meanwhile-
working on a thesis together, kind of.
yeah.
You know, but
I support you in every way, and I love you and
Well, thank
everything.
you.
Just
I
there
appreciate
is
it.
no
These
biological
these
clock,
two-
and I would love to be another granny, like another several time over. Just
Okay.
no big
Yeah,
deal.
I
No
know.
pressure, no pressure. But
Ma.
apparently,
Ma.
look at you. You have good genes, so I mean, it would be almost like a biological. Okay, I'll stop.
Ma.
I'll stop.
these two had something going
I
in the
think you-
library once, so
Oh.
A Scoop.
Then we got a
What?
library thing. Oh, could you tell me? Did you like start snogging?
what?
behind-
You
behind the
when I was
stacks?
talking to Hannah, you were like, oh, yeah. But when I can't talk about you
Oh,
two,
so this is a pod situation then, like a
No.
quadruple,
no,
quintuple.
no. We're
No, we're
literally
just-
just co-captains and co-creators.
Yeah,
I- like,
I
you know,
don't know what
okay.
you would call us. Family?
We're family.
Yeah.
I can't say it
that probably
quite
hurts.
right, but you know.
I'm sorry for like imposing my own fantasies and beliefs upon. I didn't mean to impose or anything. I was just, I just want to see my son happy, and it was just good to see.
I am
him,
happy.
making
But
sure
we
someone's
haven't
taking
really
care of
talked
him.
about labels, We haven't labeled anything here.
Sure, yeah, family sounds
There
great.
there
Just,
is a
don't
child.
actually
There
do
is a
family.
child.
We do have a
She-
child. Yeah.
The collective
You
has
have
a
a
child.
child. Who's the mother? Who's the father?
2
We're
goblins
all-
that are dead.
They
they're
What?
not dead.
We don't know about that.
I'm sorry.
they ran away though, right?
Yeah, we don't
Did
know
you
what
kill
happened.
2 goblins and take a
No,
child?
no.
No, we rescued the child from a family that we maybe killed.
We evicted.
did
we,
kill the family and
No,
take the child.
no, we didn't kill them. We just evicted them. And then whatever happened, happened.
Tamron Grounder.
They're goblins. They're monsters.
She's a
Excuse me?
fantastic firecracker, by the way.
Do you know that your godmother is a goblin? Don't you know Auntie Wansa? Do you remember Auntie Wansa?
Do I?
I'm sorry I brought it up, Tammy.
It's been a while.
Okay.
You haven't seen Auntie Wansa since your birthday.
But-
She a goblin? She's a goblin?
But we've been teaching her. She's on prepubescence at the moment, and she is a Captain Hartthorn, and she is a firecracker, and she is really independent and
That's,
you know.
that's great. That's good to hear. But also, so your captain is your child?
It's
There's
kind of like-
co-captains.
yeah. It's kind of like a bit of a
That's
mascot
right.
situation.
I may be a
but
little
if she ever
old-fashioned.
found
I don't
out,
understand. But as long
if
as
she
you
ever
guys
found out
engage-
that she's not really in charge, she would probably
who's in charge
kill everybody on the
I
boat.
feel, I, f-
Oh, that sounds like a government body if I've ever heard one.
I know, right?
I feel like it's more of an apprenticeship for the position that she will be, because she's learning from Captain Avery, and they're kind of sparring over things. Regardless, this is a lot of extra information. Artie, lovely to meet you. By the way, we've been traveling with your son for the last 2 and
It's
so
lovely to
some
meet you. Well,
months.
you're gorgeous, and I love all of your accoutrement. It's absolutely stunning.
Thank you. I mean, it's all for the laboratory and stuff. So
Yes, I believe I recognize it. Oh, I would love to sit down and we can have tea and we can have talk, but we should.
yeah, where are you guys going?
Yeah, we're going to go visit the Nofrit, my husband.
My dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the garden by the woods. Yeah. So.
Going
would
to
you like
cast exposition.
come? But
Excellent.
is there anything that you do not tell your mom?
What'd you say?
By the way, is there anything that you do not tell your mom, or do you tell
Probably
her
not.
everything that has happened?
No.
Are there things that you don't want me to do?
Are you asking me, Angela?
No, I'm asking Nakano.
Is she holding stuff back? Like, she nervous about something?
Who, Mima?
Yeah.
Roll an insight check.
I'm just seeing her, not really understanding the story. Just like, oh, we're going into the forest. Like,
Right. I
Nah.
am kind of curious too. Like
You can roll an
I
insight check as well.
I got it. 14.
Seems like a very nice lady, unassuming, very sweet, no nonsense. You can
18?
see
Yeah.
how Tamron was raised by this individual.
Okay.
18. You sense there's definitely something that she's hiding, but it's not nefarious. It's I don't want to make this sound more intense than it is, but like a dread, anxiety, and concern. She's trying to she's being a parent and she's being brave, if that makes sense.
I will at one point, as we walk to the forest, as Mima is up ahead where I don't think she could hear me, I'll just lean over to Tammy and just say, "Your mom seems a little nervous. I don't know what that means. It's really just because she really loves you, but don't know if you know this or not, but."
Speaking of which, did you guys all open and bite into the chocolate surprise?
I did, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll eat some of that.
Okay, cool. As you guys start moving, you open up the chocolate surprise, and something drops out of its center. Something, because it was quite heavy, like somewhat heavy. It drops onto the floor out of the chocolate surprise, because it was apparently too heavy to be stayed in like the cake and the fudge within. It sounds like a bunch of marbles in a sack. And it looks like a small like leather pouch that has fallen onto the ground.
I'll take a look at it.
You pick it up. Feels like very heavy marbles.
And it's a pouch, right?
It's a small leather pouch, very, very small.
This seems a little odd, guys.
That ain't
It's really
food.
good, but yeah, but like,
Didn't she say she put ingredients that go well with chocolate together, and then she like would grab it?
yeah, but like, why would she put this on the table just to randomly? It's weird. Should I open the bag?
Yeah.
All right.
She lost her marbles.
I will peer into the bag.
You open up the bag. There are small iron pellets, like lead and iron pellets in there, like pewter and other types of metals that have been about like yay big, very, very small. I'd say maybe about a centimeter in diameter each. And there is a small pieces of folded paper along with them.
Okay, I'll open it up.
You open it up.
Firecracker?
It says, as you requested, we'll wait for your signal.
What
Oh,
language
shit.
is it in?
This is in Halfling, so you
Okay.
wouldn't be able to read it.
No,
but
I
you
do
can,
know.
You can? Okay.
Yeah, I do know Andronki. So
Whoops.
Yeah, this is this is not an Andronki. Andronki is the language of the elite halflings. The halfling is more of like the Brooklyn accent, like lower language.
I know
of like
Andronk.
the common people. This is not Andronki. This is.
yeah,
How do I like? It's more of the
It's-
upper echelon of the
sure. It's
Yeah,
it's
the
posh
rulers.
British versus very like
Cockney.
Cockney
Yeah.
slang that's
Yeah,
being
they are
used.
very similar, I would say, but but like there's a difference between like more of like an overall Eastern influence on Andronki, whereas it's more of like a Brooklyn influence on Halfling.
So I would probably understand some of the words because I'm assuming some of the words are somewhat
Sure, but
the-
all of
the
you
base.
are opening this and you kind of pull it out. So
Yeah,
those
so
that
I'll be
can-
like,
yeah, Tamron, you
Tammy.
can fully read Halfling. So
what the fuck's what?
I'm being targeted.
Do you think this is intended for us? I mean, I feel like it was.
The
This
the
seems like a
person,
mistake.
the baker. I mean, how can a baker mistake marbles or this?
I mean, if she's a complete
And then
surprise.
say it's
Grabs
say
things and puts them in cake.
and then say this was specifically made for me.
Nakano,
Oh, she did
Once I
say
told-
that. Did she say that?
She did.
can you roll an intelligence check for me
Yeah.
as you look at these pellets?
16.
16. These are rounds. These are firearm rounds. Meant to be loaded into a flintlock, like pistol or rifle. Some of the newest technology that you've seen, scattered about in and some of the Red Line Syndicate have been provided with such. It has been a technology that the Razor Fang agreement and those people within have developed and have made only to those that are rich and those that have the money for, or those that have a lot of power can and have an agreement with them.
What did the note say again?
It said, as you requested, we will wait for your signal.
As you requested, period. We will wait for your signal, period.
So I feel like this can't be a scoop because you just came into town. Nobody would know. It's not like you can give a signal. I feel like
But
this
there-
is a mix-up.
No,
Mention
This is-
you're the
this is-
beast. I know
this-
you like to do that.
this
We
is
did
a
mention
long.
that.
Something to
You're
do with
walking
that?
while you're talking. You eventually do arrive in the middle of this conversation at this like garden that's kind of like surrounded by like the shrubbery in the area. It's almost like half into like the very, very sparse woods before it starts to get like deep right next to it. So it's like right on the edge of the wooded area that's near the town. And you do see no fret working away. It looks like he's digging a hole or something with a spade. He's very intent and focused on that right now. as you guys are having this conversation, you have this material out and you're talking to each other, and Meemaw steps forward and she's like, "Dear, this, well, could you take a moment? Somebody you should probably just take a moment."
Tammy, I whisper to you. Has your dad always been so interested in horticulture? Like, or is this maybe sakura blossoms type activity?
No, he's always been into gardening.
Like, but at 7 a.m.?
Yeah, he's weird.
Are you okay?
I mean, are there any sakura blossoms around?
Not that you can see,
Yeah.
just like Blay looking around. I mean, the garden's pretty well kept, and
Yeah.
you don't see any cherry blossoms or sakura blossoms around.
I mean,
here. Nothing
he's
that's
a boomer.
obvious
He
anyway.
he buries his problems into like useless
That's
hobbies.
That's fair. I mean, but I'm like from the desert. Like, I'm not used to how lush it is. It's so like gardening is, super specialized and like weird that he'd be out. But I'll
No,
trust you.
it's like a hobby. He's retired. This is what he does. And he's,
Okay. All right. As long as
probably has
he-
a bad prostate, so he's up at 5 o'clock to piss anyway.
That's fair. Piss on the plants or just like piss in general.
Oh, well, I don't. I don't know.
I mean, do you want me or Scoop to check him out for that? Like,
I mean-
So while you're covering this conversation, no fret, Papa kind of puts his spade in the ground and turns around and dusts himself off as he like steps on the gravelly and crunchy mulch as he walks over. Doesn't really make eye contact with anybody, and looks up. Excited, we're like, looks up at you guys, sees the pouch in your hand, and he's like, "Oh, good." And he grabs the pouch from you. It's weird that he brought. Wasn't expecting so much help, but all right.
He grabs the bullets
Well, let me,
from a scoop.
Yep. He just grabs him from the hand and walks back to the hole. Reaches in the hole, pulls out what looks like a big old flintlock rifle, starts loading it.
What is happening?
Holding an action.
Yo,
Wasn't
Dad,
expecting
Wait, Dad. Wait, hold on. What's happening?
Wasn't
Dad, it's
expecting
me.
So many of you. Hey, look, whatever you're into, I'm not really into that. But I assume you are ready, right? And he leans, he puts the rifle across the fence and he aims
Wait,
it
stop.
across the way at what looks like a bunch of the Red Line Syndicate people still at the construction site. He's like,
Whoa.
Wait,
"All
Dad,
right,
hold
here
on.
we
Wait.
go."
No.
Wait.
And he fires the weapon.
No.
No, I was gonna jump and stop this from happening.
You want to try to jump in front of the gun?
before he fires the gun? No,
Fucking
not
hell,
just
Elvis.
like take the gun.
Okay,
from him
sure.
Before he
Why don't go-
fires it.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity check to see if you can
Jesus
jump in front of him and get the
Christ,
gun
Dad,
out of
what
his
the
hand.
fuck? I'm a little.
Your
packed.
dad's an anarchist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy and proud, but also.
I
Hold on.
know, right?
What did I
Your
roll?
parents are pretty
Dexterity.
cool, man.
I know.
Yeah.
So playing dexterity check. 12.
12. So you do get to him fast enough, and you like grab the stock of the gun, or and like rotate it and like the handle under the wood and under the barrel, and try to like push it up, but it still fires. It just doesn't fire in that direction. Makes a loud sound,
Oh,
and a bunch. What's up?
do call lightning to look like it's just thundered.
Okay, yeah, that works, and it
Okay.
is lightly
Sick.
raining right now. So
Sick.
I would say, yeah, cool. Why don't you go ahead and roll an Arcana check real
Nice.
quick?
What level is that? Okay, it's 3. Okay.
And where do you want the lightning to strike? You've got like, so just so you know, have an
So,
idea
yeah.
of like, you're at the garden, and if you're facing the construction site, to your left is like the wooded area, and then you're standing in the garden and you're facing the construction site of like the cylindrical stone thing with the Red Line Syndicate working at it, and off to your right is back towards the town. Make sense?
Can I do? Can I do like past the line syndicate? So it's like double.
They
because
are-
lightning's still gonna have a sound no matter what.
What's
so it's
the
gonna be
range
like
of
a
it?
double. It's sorry,
150 feet.
120
or something.
feet.
120 feet. I would say you can't go past them. That's beyond your range. 120
Okay.
feet would like
Then
be
I'll just do, like, off.
reaching the in. Okay, you can either do it in town, then, like in the field between both of you, or in the forest.
In town.
Okay, so you make a lightning strike. Come down in town, hitting one of the buildings, and lighting it on fire. One of the egg-shaped abodes. The people in the red light syndicate do like stand up and look around, and you see no fret look at you, Tamarin, as you go like, it's like, hey, what are you doing? You insane? This is crazy. I thought you're supposed to be there to help. What are you doing?
Just take a beat. Just take a beat for a second.
Oh, we
here.
don't have a beat. They know we're here. It's time to go. The clarion has called. This is it. We knew this was coming. We've been prepped for this. Come on.
Who called? I think there's a misunderstanding here.
Oh,
Do you
if
know who
you're misunderstanding?
I'm Tamarin.
I'm Mr. Understanding. So we have
you
to
hear
get
me?
going.
You didn't hear me.
I thought you were Mr.
Tam-
Grounder, and he's.
Hey, don't use. I don't know who you think you are. And I don't know.
I'm telling you
why
who
you
I
think
am.
you.
I'm your son.
Kid, I ain't your daddy.
Oh,
And that's
Strikes.
and that's where we're gonna end the session.
Okay.
We're gonna.
So
I ain't your
Perfect.
daddy.
I just gotta remember
I ain't your
call
daddy.
lightning's on.
Yeah, and so you struck one of the buildings in town, which is now on
it's
fire.
creating a fire is
It's
more
raining though, right?
Yeah,
dangerous and
it is
more-
raining. Yep.
What
It's
does
not
lightning
like
never
heavily,
strike in
but-
this town? I mean, come
Anyway, we're gonna save this for the gluten talk, post session talks. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time, and as always, stay safe out there. Stay safe out there. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.